Very, very cool.
Just need to check my calendar so I don't overbook myself here.
It's always that. You always gotta check everything.
Yeah. Let's see.
Greyhawk Con is well on its way too. We got a sign up started, so.
Yeah, no problem. So I can put in a map stream here. Map stream. And I'll do that at 1800 hours. There we go. Then I can announce that today, and then I'll put up the stuff before I go to bed.
Let's see what else we got here. I didn't hear from Chuck at all.
Oh, you didn't? Uh-oh, that's worrying. Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, I got it. Try and reach him by a front wall.
Yeah. But if they're vaccinated, then at least they have good odds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not that devastating. Even if you have bad health, vaccination should make it pull through 60. So that's what I'm worried about. Just open Evernote note for each episode in case we talk about something. And just
Okay.
notes. Yeah. That usually works.
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot. What's up, Enoch? How you doing, too? Getting set up here. Just adding me tonight. It's no Ed Greenwood's tonight.
Exactly. You have to make do with the locals, so to speak.
Yes.
Yep.
Going and bouncing all over the place, I think. So we'll see.
Yep. There we go. Now I have things set up and logged into chat. All that. So,
Whoops, I hit a wrong button. See, look, I did hit a wrong button there. Early on.
Okay.
Hey, what's up, Big
Yeah.
Ball? Early wrong button tonight. Woohoo!
and there's Tim too. Yep.
Hey, Tim.
Hello.
I know this isn't your cup of tea, Tim, but we're talking Greyhawk City tonight, so if you're bored and want to hop on, we got just Dan and me, so we'll be talking some mongrels. Awesome, Rox. Thanks to hear that. I did get my new mic for downstairs. I'm going to test that out. So, yeah, you're in that house with the octopi pictures, Enoch? That's kind of bizarre. What's so difficult with the buttons? You try it, man. And you see how many red buttons you hit. We gotta hit buttons and sub-buttons and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to get one of these bigger models with more buttons. You don't have to have sequence or double buttons or
Yes, but
anything.
even that one doesn't have enough for the front page. Only on the front.
Okay.
No, I'd have to
Yeah,
get the
that is-
sub-buttons and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it still would. Yeah. It's all good. No, I didn't think you'd want to, take over, pressing buttons. Seriously, I even have them, I have them by, color code and stuff, and pictures actually right on them too, but still,
But
it's not.
Doesn't it come with like their little screens, so you can actually have a software you can load?
Yeah, it's all
different,
all
yeah.
programmed in and everything, but you know, it's just
Yep.
you know, there's it's a lot. So. What's up, Mike? Good, Mike. This is gonna be
Hello.
this is gonna be good because, well, I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a mix of my campaign, what's going on in my campaign, and what has evolved in Greyhawk City, the city itself. So
I
it's a
can
big
put in little tidbits about my ideas of
Yeah.
occasionally, but not. It's your campaign is this.
Yeah, I know, but
this.
we got some stuff. We got some
Yeah.
other things and to
Yeah.
discuss because they've really done some good. Well, we'll talk about it. Now that I'm starting to delve into. But the good thing is now the extra screen putting up, I don't have to like snip everything. I can just bring the PDF up and scroll through it, which is good. So, you know, we didn't have that 3 months ago, and I didn't do that. I was worried about crashing streams. Now I don't have that problem anymore.
No, and the new setup works really well when you can switch between and you can show this stuff.
Yeah.
In a little window.
So, Infinite Dimension just released a whole bunch of new buildings for this Kickstarter that if you were like the gold buy-in on them, you get them all. And my gosh, I have to download them. So, for, you know, more stuff for Bill to do. So, of course. What's up, Patrick?
Hello.
And like I said, that arena is fully printed out. We're just, you know, and that'll be the mainstay piece for the Grand Melee of Altamira, which I know Chantel, you got in there. And hey, setting it for Night of Lurking, Zerbus, I'll take it. That's fine, man. So no worries with that. Yes, I will assign. We'll get characters set up and everything. So. No, I don't have big figures. Now Tim's Bill's on the clock is ticking but he'll get it done. That arena, it's gonna be awesome. Looking forward to that. Look at this. I mean, we're like super early too. So, but I'm gonna come on a little early and talk about maybe even hop over to the Virtual GreyhawkCon site. Because I'm not the Virtual GreyhawkCon. Yeah, Virtual GreyhawkCon site. Listen to me. My gosh, I'm babbling tonight. It was a rough day, everyone. I had an explosive washing machine. It was leaking all over the place. Yeah, I gotta get some service. It sucks, Mike.
When it's 110.
Yeah, it's always there.
That's when you need them. That's when they run at the highest capacity. So that's why they're breaking out.
What's the name of the river by City Craft? The Solitan.
Yep.
Yep.
And the gray run, I think, in the board books is that little auxiliary that flows into the Solitan.
Here comes Kayla and Time Lord's wife raiding in.
Perfect.
Awesome! We're really early, but thank you, Kayla. Thanks. Yeah, well, good to see you. Yep, I'll hold off, and when I get on the main screen, I'll pop that up. Is it that high here? Let me turn this down.
Okay.
I can never tell.
Everything
is at its own. You know, he said. There, I turned that down there, Dale. Good. I can't tell, man. It's almost impossible to figure out how it sounds to Anna and me. And Anna can't even hear a lot of the musical stuff.
No, I can't hear any of the music. So,
and then, you know, so it's cool. Yo, Antiquitous, good to see you back, man. Alright, so tonight's... let the music play out to the end. Is it still loud? Wow.
Uh-oh.
I'll turn this on. Now you explain this to me. I can't click on my music. There it goes. It's not letting me click on it to turn it down. Man, I'm just having all sorts of technical issues today. Let's see. Now I turned it off. There we go. Alright. Greyhawk City. The wonders of Greyhawk. I'll come on a few minutes early so I can hype up Greyhawk Con. Just going, first day of sign-ups for events is going well. Sound okay now? My voice sounds okay? Well, that's it. Okay. You know, talking over the ad music and stuff here, so. Alright. When I come on, then let me know. Alright. When I come on, let me know how Anna and me sound. I can tweak it.
Yep.
Said I got my new omnidirectional mic for effects geek puppet. We may be able to get up a hype train already. You never know.
Yeah.
With that, so I'm already getting stuff here. All right, here we come. Coming live. We're early. We're 4 minutes early. Earlier than normal. So good evening, everyone. How you doing? I'm J.K. Lord Gazumba for another wonderful and fantastic and miraculous Gabbin. No, there's no Ed Greenwood tonight. We had that. Oh my gosh.
Nope.
Look, there goes Troy Arding, crazy cheer there.
Oh,
Thank
wow.
you.
Thank
and
you.
Anna's with me tonight, and
Hello.
we both got our Order of Yule shirts on, and tonight we are going
Yep.
to have some fun with talking about the free city of Greyhawk itself. Now I know John at Blue Box was adventuring, but for the most part he was below, right? He was doing a lot below Greyhawk itself in those last couple fights, but that was going on in his game. With some Dark Brotherhood members, one of my oldest and deadliest adventuring baddies in my campaign there. But Greyhawk is fun. But before that, let's do this. Now I'm going to go. Hopefully, I don't crash everything. Kayla's raid should show up now. It should in theory. It should. There we go. So there you go, Kayla. Get that for your raid in there. Oh well, you guys, you're crazy, but we thank you so very much. All right, so this is for the discussion. Let's go, and let's see if Jay can crash things like a big bang boom crash here. Hopefully not. So I'm gonna give that to you right now. Oh yeah, that's right, Antiquus. You want to get in on this. All right, so Greyhawk Con has just I should have had this up. I'm sorry. It's been a weird day today. Let me tell you something. All right, here we are. Greyhawk Con. Things are going very well on the first day of signups. We were up to 62 events. All right, I want to show some of the real quick here. So if you want to register, you go to buy badges right here. $5 plus $1.13, so it's like $6.13. Signing up for any event is free. Buy tickets. You want to buy the shirts? I'll show you the shirts in a second. They're right there. There's a little extra here. And events. We're going to come down here. We're going to click on this and click on that to make it 100 to show all the events. If you see no get button over here, whoops, I got to do it this way. If you see no get button here, that means it's sold out. Okay, already. So, but you have and this is in time frame line from Friday to Sunday. As you can see, Mike Disney starts us off, and Mike's is a seminar event on Twitch. So if you want to put it on your schedule, just so you note it, that's Mike's and Anna's. They're on Twitch, and there's no, everyone's welcome to watch it. So also the Greyhawk has the experts at the end, but we put them on there so it'll go on your schedule in TTE. Okay, but note, so Kayla's already sold out. Don't blink, right? And we come down here. There's a lot of great games. Here's one. C&C, where Castles and Crusades, where the dogwoods bloom, Friday afternoon. The DM is Steven Chenault, the owner of Trollor Games. Okay, and he only has 3 of 6.
Jump on that
I don't
while
think
you have the
everyone knows
chance.
about that yet, right?
Exactly.
So
Yeah, you
my
need.
guess
They
is that'll
need.
be gone now after I said
Oh
that.
yeah, exactly. Like in 5 minutes, those slots are probably gone. Yep.
Yes. So, but Steven Chenault himself, and I think he's Kale is going streaming, and then that day, and then Steven Chenault on the highlight stream, and Steven's got
Yeah.
a little seminar after that.
Hmm.
Yes, Chantel, you got games open too. That's absolutely correct here, and there's a lot of other games here. Casey's games are filling up fast. The BK tourneys are sold out. One of them sold out already. John Blue Box Session 1 is sold out. Okay. But you have the, my gosh, where's it? Treachery and Erelhai Sinlu. This is at 4. This is at 12 o'clock on Friday and 12 o'clock on Sunday. That's Alan Growe's game, which is usually, I don't think a lot of people realize that he was putting anything in, and so 4 out of 6. So I mean, they'll get filled quickly too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Greyhawk Reborn games are really filling up fast, Morpheus. You're absolutely correct. So definitely Blue Box Session 1, like I said, sold out. Tim's, the ever mysterious Tim, you win. Between a Rock and a Hard Place was the first event to sell out. Okay, so there you go. So Tim's event was first to completely sell out. Horror on From High, 1 left. The Siege of Westkeep, that is Guild Superior, there's 1 left. Shadows in the House of Radiance, that's another Greyhawk Reborn, 1 left. Stella Luna's game sold out already. Tomb of the Lizard King, DM Mandy Solano's game is sold out. The Grand Melee competition of Altamira is sold out as well. Thank you, everyone, for that hype train. We got a ton of giveaways tonight, too. Let me get that started up while I'm babbling here. At least 4 Troller game giveaways tonight. Okay, and some of them are hardbacks with shipping, which is really, really cool. So let me go here, other box, and yes. So Anna, it's pretty exciting this year. What did you say on
Yeah, it's grown since last year, and yeah, so it's so cool. But I like it that there are openings, meaning on a lot of these events, other cons and stuff, they're already filled by people before they even Yeah, they don't have any open tickets, so it's good that there are.
Yes, you need a T-shirt. I'll show them in 1 second here. So as I go down here, here's another Troller Games presents Shadows of a Green Sky. I believe that's Matt Robertson who put that in. That's Great Babe, if you know him. There's 1 ticket left for that. So as you can see, we got some. Dude, it's good to see you back, Antiquitous. I know school's been rough, and it's good to see you back. But there you go. So Blue Box Session 2 still has a seat left. All right, so you have that, and look at all these great games. There's a ton of great content in here of all editions. So I think there's 62 games, 62 events in now. So just note that there's something for everyone at every time, and just have fun with it, and sign up. There's plenty of content here. Real quick, if you haven't before, you want to go to, and let me go back to the main page here. For those, here it is. I'll show you here's the Return of the Moat House shirts. The price includes shipping, everyone. That's why it looks high to the continental U.S. There you go. They came out great. All right.
Yeah, it looks. Yeah.
Yes, Anna helped a lot with setting up the typesetting. After Carson Druitt gave us the final, and Stella Luna helped out a lot too. The final digitized print, and then Anna, Josh Pop and
tweaked it, got it ready for the T-shirt and with the text and so on.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So they're there. There's sizes still available, most sizes and all. So there are. It was a limited print run. I may do another one depending on how successful this one is, just to let you know. So I got you, Shane. Crimson Death. I will get you at the end of the show on that. Just wanted to go there and show some things. It's going very well. And please, if you're a little on the fence, sign up for a game. There's a lot of great DMs, a lot of great people, and not everything's streamed too. If you don't want to be on stream, there's a ton of games aren't streamed. Alan Growe's games aren't streamed. Chantel's games aren't streamed. Casey's games aren't streamed in the tourney. there's a lot of great content that's not going to be streamed, so you don't have to worry about it if you don't want to appear on a live stream. So, all right. Feel free to ask questions. Feel free to reach out to me. Thank you for your time on that. So, Greyhawk.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful place. I was excited about when this came out, Anna, way back in the day. Which is of course, this.
Yeah, first you had the box set that came out, but was it late 80s?
Well, let's take a look on the back of my completely. I gotta brag, my fully ever sealed, never opened one. And it says 1989 on this one. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get my box here too.
Hey Matt, we're just talking about you. So here are my playable books that I have from for this, from the one that I use. Yeah. All right. So that one I'm never opening. Yeah, we're talking about your game. Your one game's almost sold out already. So, yep. Kayla, and thank you once again so very much for a great raid in. Thank you, Long Shot, for the resub there. I'm going to hit out some people, and I'll be hitting you out all night here. So, yeah, this is this came out and it changed our play style. And what I want to talk about tonight is how and why this publication made some wonderful changes to the way we did things. And I think Tim, if you're still on, will agree with me that he had City State of the Invincible Overlord, which is a full city. And we played in that setting when Tim DM for us, City State of Invincible Overlord, because that, Judges Guild, that came out years before this. So that was the great big city setting that we had. And then this came out, and it was like, hey, we can do urban campaigning now with detail, which we never had before. We didn't have any cities developed, in Greyhawk that had maps and had every road and every street. Yeah, the Wildlands sure was great. I mean, that was way ahead of its time. World Emperor, though, felt like B1 Asher, if you remember it, because you had to fill in all the town shop locations. They left that to you. They left it blank. I was like, I don't know, that's too much work. I mean, because it was huge, but Invincible Overlord wasn't that way, and it was a great, yes, more imaginative. So, so the 4 giveaways are the following. The 2 big winners will receive the following things, okay? This is the Free City of Escadia. As we're doing Free City of Greyhawk tonight, Chuck said, hey, let's do a free city. You get the Free City hardback book, and you get the digital download, plus the shipping. That's one winner. At least one other winner will get that digital download of this, okay? That's one. So that's 2 winners. Where is it here? Town of Callus. I got so much stuff in here. Next one, and I have this one, I'll show it to you. The Town of Callus. It's a great book. You get this, which free shipping, plus the digital download. That's the 3rd winner. 4th winner will get the digital download on this. And that is this right here. So, all right. Pretty good. I'm looking at using this in like maybe blue or a port city like that for Callus and just converting the names over to it. So yes, those are the giveaways tonight. Kirsty, Chuck, and everyone know Chuck is not well. He's not, and I haven't talked to him in 2 days. I'll try and get in touch with him on Monday and give you all an update. So, well, awesome. That's great to hear that you signed up. Very, very cool. All right, so the Free City Greyhawk box set came out, and man, it was cutting edge. Now, here's my crappy version of now this isn't crappy. My crappy version, as you can see, tape on the edge. I got a nicer one downstairs, but I keep all my maps in here. So when this came out, you had, I know it's controversial, but you had your artworked map. You have your.
I think it's so cool when that kind of sketch of the city is kind of really, really cool.
Yeah, and then
I like it because you get all the. So even if I will not run using the TSR version, I will go with the Gary's version. But I'll more of Gary's version. I will tweak that one a little bit too for my campaign. But I still love this because I will steal every building from this and put it in my version, so to speak. So everything that is in the box set, I want to put it in there and then some, so to speak. That will be my general approach to it.
Agree 1,000%. And as I can pop this up here and just to get a little more detail.
And then comes Meldon's kind of improvement to the map. Yeah, we have to because the map.
Here is that map from the City of Greyhawk box set. This has been my mainstay map for years here. Now, I don't want to mess this up, so I don't write on this or don't do anything to it. I guess I could just do it on printout paste paper, but I have black and white versions of this. So what do I do with this? Is I take this, and first of all, I do blow ups. I'll give you an example of this and the other artwork map. So I'm going to leave mountains as the background for tonight. I take that, and then this is what I do. I blow up an area. So this is the artwork map. Now this is the high market. So if you go to this blue building right here, this one right here, this is actually the building that the Iron Brigade, a lot of the members own and live in. So I actually know where in Greyhawk, which is kind of cool, know where the characters have a location. And there's other things you can do with that. And like, here, this shows an area of Bard Street in the back corner. We've got the wall going into the High and Garden Quarter here. So we got some establishments back here, and just that's some things you can do with it. So but it's got its limits a little bit. And here's some of the limitations. Man's got to know there's limitations. Now I'm talking to myself. So artwork map. This is the area I'm playing in as of Thursday. If you saw the game. This is the area right here where this tree is, and all this area here is the Petit Bazaar. All right, and it stretches over to here. Now, you take this, and I can't reproduce this on my table, but I can get close, right? So I have taken that and reproduced it.
Well, you can take small areas of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, I am, Mac. I'm channeling Clint Eastwood tonight. Last night I was channeling a lot of Stripes quotes on Grey Talk late last night. That was weird last night. So, thanks, Patrick. So, I love this map because like the main buildings on here are actually like, if I recall, this is the oh gosh, the whorehouse, whatever the name of it is.
Oh, that's one of the
R something. You get they're out. You can actually see them. The main highlighted
you have the
areas.
Wheel of Gold, and you have the whatever one of the
you're right. Grothel's a better word to use. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
It's gosh. See, now I'm gonna have to kill myself. I should know these by heart. It's an R11.
Okay.
I believe it is.
Yeah.
But note that you have a lot of you can use this for a visual of location. Yes, I feel like, hey Bill, what's going on? How was your vacation? You back? Hopefully you're doing well. Because now you got a lot to do. Just kidding. I know. I'm being a smart ass. See, I can never know everything about Greyhawk. There's too much of it. So we want to go to the River Quarter. I got to know the name of the place now, because if I don't, I'm going to drive myself. Bart, that's the barge inn? No, I think that was the Silver Garter. Awesome, great to hear, dude. Do any of these maps see Greyhawk let you know sewer cross? Yeah, well, yeah, man. There's that too, and I don't know if I have that one in here, but I will find it for you. All right, so note that exists. Here's what I do. And I'm going to show you my problem as publications came out. From the Ashes wasn't too bad. The From the Ashes box set, they kind of left the City of Greyhawk alone. But when this came out, the Malden map came out, as you can see, this is radically different. Radically different here, especially in these areas that are more tight, and there's much more out here, and
it's a big improvement, because this starting to look a bit like what you can expect from a fantasy medieval-esque city, that it matches way more of Gary's Saga of Old City and stuff. When you read stuff like that is way closer to it. So he certainly improved it massively from the TSR, the bare bones TSR version.
Yeah, very true. Just I am an old purist guy, so what I now have to do is figure out what I need to cross reference on these, which I
Ah,
had to do with
yeah. So
Harby,
yeah,
which was a
because
problem.
you used the
Yeah,
original TSR version so much. I stayed away
yeah.
from it for a long time,
Here,
and when Saga of Old City came out, I started dabbling with it, and then the City of Ox came out. So I can just, yeah, and now I stayed away from it for years simply because I I I wanted to kind of develop my take on it first before I really delve into it again. Yeah.
it's smart. So I don't need to like everyone. I don't need to go house by house here, but there are
No, yeah.
inconsistencies. This is the
Hmm.
Petit Bazaar area, the low market, done very
Yeah.
well by Malden. And note that, and we'll go over some of the locations that are added. Note that if you have access to these, particularly issues 2, 4, and 5, the Living Greyhawk journals. And I wouldn't be talking about this unless I had gotten this, and thank you for that trade to get this. And as you can see, the map is actually in here. I've brought it out once to do a couple scans, but I'm putting it back in there because I've been
Yeah.
trying to get that map for 5 years, and I finally got it, and that's awesome. But you kind of use areas when you DM. Even in a city, you're not all over the place all the time. And so our area, our main area is this. The river quarter and the foreign quarter, which is F. For the most part, you have these areas here.
Hmm.
When this came out, and I'll say this is a fantastic, fantastic adventure, and I was shocked how I didn't think I was going to like it at first. When I started delving into it, um, I love this. Really did. And now I see I got everything and everything's alphabetical. Here we go. So when we got Expeditions to the Ruins of Greyhawk came out, right? This is the last publication that ever came out really for Greyhawk. Eric Mona, James Jacobs, and Jason Bowman did it. And there's a great
Yeah.
story behind it. Now here's the only unfortunate thing that happened is we ran this about 3, 4 months before we started streaming. So there's no yes, and let me show you this. This shows now. By the way, we're up to 921. We're doing right now in Mike Disney's game on Saturday. The Amazon's 922. So this shows 820 is the last adventure that I did. It wasn't streamed, and then we went 821 on. But as you can see, the highlighted ones here is the entire Expedition to the Ruins of Greyhawk event, and it was long. I mean, months and months, and we had a couple of things we moved in and out here. Sometimes, we switched it up, but notice that you have the chapters are done in their own adventures and they're long, and some of them are multiple sittings. And then you have we brought in a new group, and you notice Pete and John's Teamster service is right there. They were around. John got assassinated on Thursday night. There you go. So from Iron Fury, this adventure here and he's reappeared. Brian Doherty, right? It's a case of measles. What's Brian Doherty's name in Discord? Someone online, Brian Doherty.
Yeah.
What is his name in Brian Doherty's name in Discord? He just started coming back on Discord. Yeah. So this is a great adventure. It's first level. I melded it into the campaign here. I got this off of the old. I think I got it off of Cannon Fire. Um, but that was a great adventure, and so we did that, and we did a couple other little things, and we have a high level and a low level group going in. But here was my issue that I had to solve with Greyhawk, and I love Greyhawk so much, but they moved everything around. Everything
Hmm.
is moved. I'm like, what the hell
Yeah.
are they do here? So River Quarter. Here we go. All right, what a mess. So it was in the burn area next to the haunted basement. Yes, absolutely, Bill. That's it. You remember that. It was a great adventure. Very cool. So as you can see here, these numbers on here are changed and cross-referenced and highlighted with stuff that I had to move, and it's all over the place. And that corresponds to the number within this, and I know I'm blocked with my this, which is the inside of Expeditions to the Ruins of Greyhawk, a guide to the free city of Greyhawk, which is from pages 20 I don't know, 20 to 40 roughly inside this book, which is basically an update on Greyhawk City, which a lot of people don't know where to find it, but it's here. And there's a lot of areas that are highlighted. As you can see, they're pulling basically a color version of the Malden. That's kind of the Malden map. Or is that a Schley? That looks like a Schley, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks like a Schley, but it looks like it's based on Malden's version way more than the early TSR version. But I guess Malden's version became canon, or like the version when it was introduced and when he did it, so to speak. He kind of improved on the earlier version. So yeah.
Yeah. So this version, which I didn't have Malden's version when we did this in 2018 or 2017. It was. I didn't have
you
it.
didn't?
No,
Oh, you didn't go look for it? Okay.
I didn't know about it. Remember, this is before I knew.
Oh yeah, you weren't out
38
scouting
years
for living Greyhawk stuff and so on, because I tried to grab as much as I could every time it came out. So yeah.
Yeah, and back then, Anna, before I even knew you, we didn't associate with other groups. We just stayed in our little hole, right? And we got a book here and there. Yeah. Malden's great, Shane. I agree 100%. You got a lot of numbers cross-reference here, and I'm trying to figure out where everything is. And if you notice here, and it's in my awful handwriting, this is the Noble Pawn. We've adventured there, and I'll talk about that adventure in a little bit. That's Bill's character, Galena, dual-classed human thief illusionist.
Yeah.
Right, and she's.
But you should keep your version of Greyhawk and keep developing it, and then integrate as you please, as you like, so to speak. So you should just. I think every DM should do that. You should, if you develop the area, stick with it, and then if there's an official version comes out, you study the official version, you cherry pick the stuff you like and put it in your version. I think that's the way every DM should do it, that way, so to speak.
It's a great idea. So
you should cherry pick. Look at all the cool stuff being done and being future done by fans and whatever by Greyhawk. Cherry picks the things you like, integrate it into your campaign, either wholesale or tweak it as to it suits your table, so to speak. I think should be the guiding principle all along.
I appreciate that, Anna, because I want to show you this too from here, which will tie into that. So here's the Noble Pawn. This is adventure 909, I think it was called. No, that's wrong. 829. I'll check the chart. Deal or no deal? And we didn't even have underlays then. This is that street. Okay, so this is my first attempt to put a street of Greyhawk on my table. So this one right here is the Noble Pawn. Okay. Yeah. That's a Noble Pawn.
And I guess it's important for you to take reference pictures like this, because 5 years later you're back with another adventure party with the same party. Then the street needs you need to get it back again, so to speak. So yeah.
And the great thing about this adventure was Bill's character Galena made a deal with someone for this house right here to purchase. Yeah. So they own that as well now, and then there was some warehouse issue down at this building down here, and there was a fight, and so that story went on. But just say this is my first attempt, and as you can see, hey, it's mostly all miniature building authority. I don't have any 3D prints, none. This is
but I love it. I love how you laid out the street and stuff. Thanks. It's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's neoprene. It's that latex rubber from Miniature Building Authority, street cobbles, and Bill created those, made those stone. They're real stone walls to link in and all, and so it worked well. But you notice we don't have an underlay at all on the table at this point.
Yeah.
Pre-underlay.
You should, for real cool city play, you should have a sandbox and put the houses in the sandbox.
Yeah,
that will be the ultimate cool thing to have for city. You can put the buildings in there, and you can kind of or that will be kind of or have like some like more coarse sand, not like fine sand, but kind of more like gravel, fine gravel, sort of, or something like that, and make it into, so it will be like the dirt streets.
The original old school.
Improved sandbox with buildings. That will be
a mess, though, Anna.
Oh yeah, it will be a mess, but it will be super cool.
It would be cool. Yeah. It would be really, really cool. But so this was our first attempt, and this was one of the last times I think we even ran the Grey Company, because the Grey Company is kind of an interesting group, and we'll get to them. It's the Thieves, mostly the Thieves Guild. All right, so there's my first attempt. Note up here, for example. See that? I had to hand pencil in this. This is, and does everyone know Age of Worms? In Age of
Yeah.
Worms, you're up in Diamond Lake, and there's three adventurers. One of them's named Kellic, and there's another one named Tira. Now, Tira actually got named on Thursday night. She's the thief of the group, and Kellic is the Dragon Chest champion now of Greyhawk. That's his tower, and it really didn't. There wasn't any place to put it up here, but it's on the expedition's map, so I had to hand put it in. And then you have 5, I believe, is the Perthan Estate right here. 4 or 5, and they took that from. That's an Iusian safe house. Hey, David, good to see you, man. That's actually an Iusian safe house, and that is that's detailed out in Expeditions to the Ruins of Greyhawk as well. And this is there you go. That's the Perthan Estate right there. And yeah, and then you have you have something in the basement too. There's a second floor, so you have that in the adventure as well. And it kind of corresponded here with that number, so I made it that one. Number 4, I believe 4 is the Zuokin Temple, which I knew nothing about Zuokin until this adventure either.
Yeah, I've heard the name, but I never really studied him, so I don't know. So yeah,
Zuokin and all the other imprisoned deities, demigods that are imprisoned in the god trap still kind of get discussed.
That's true. That depending on what your campaign, there might still be demigods or gods and stuff up there. Yeah.
Well, there are in this. Yeah. So as you go through this, I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but you get to retrap bodies for a small amount of time, which is kind of cool. Yeah, it's neat, and you get to go to bits and pieces of all 3 towers in Greyhawk Ruins. The Tower Zag. You got the War College, the Magic, all of them. It's a neat adventure. And it sets up some things that leave a question. There are questions. I know some of you, particular Rich Longitalis, does not understand in this adventure how an entire Iusian army can walk thousands of miles in the Underdark to the entrance to the Tower of War, where the Great Circular Staircase is. Right. All right. And then in this adventure, you collapse. If you're successful, you collapse this staircase. Not destroying the entire army, but sealing the army below so they can't get out. Well, what happens to that army? It's not really answered in this. Well, I tried to answer it. Okay, so that's what's kind of going on now, because it's only a couple of years afterwards, and it's going to take those of intelligence below time to figure their way out. Those that survive. So that's kind of one of the things we did with the adventure.
Yeah.
All right, so this is our main area of. Hey, thank you very much for those follows. I really appreciate it, and hopefully you're liking the discussion. That is Legiment Sterich, I think that's LST there. So you got all these locations in this area. So I wanted to go away from this area for the latest adventure we were doing, and I was like, how am I going to do that? So we have, and then we have the Petit Bazaar. I'm thinking to myself, all right, well, why don't we do this? I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk about the Artisan Quarter, and let's go to what Malden has done.
Yeah.
All right. So, and let me move this over here, which is really fantastic. And Eric Mona and Malden did this article. And let's go to this. Okay. And here we go. So this is Living Greyhawk Journal 2. I'm imagining you can get this in PDF. Can you get this on drive-through, everyone?
Oh, yes. Yep, okay, you can. I think at least I think I bought I had a few missing ones, so I bought the PDF. So
awesome.
I think you can get them.
Hey, Mike, good to see you, man. Hey, Mike, if you're bored and want to come in and participate in some of the discussion tonight, please feel free to hop in, man.
That will be super cool.
Yeah, please feel free if you want to throw in a little Greyhawk lore in my invitation. So it says special insert City Greyhawk poster map Thank you. Finally got it. And here comes Gem and the Flanus, and you
Yeah,
have.
they're available. The whole series is available on drive-through, so
Cool.
you get the.
No problem, Mike. It's all good.
Various. Yep.
There was an error. Don't give me errors.
Well, the PDFs are like that at times. Yeah.
All right. So here we go. The Artisans Quarter is really, if you go to this, Folks, Feuds, and Factions, the Artisan Quarter has, wrong book. Gem of the Flanus. Let's go to A. The A section should be right here after Clarksburg, right? All right, the Artisans Quarter. Flanus. Hey, Josh, you gonna bust my stones on my my bad? Yeah.
I think in the city of Hawks, I think it's called the Craftsman's Ward. That's the Artisans Quarter. I think, yeah.
Seven stinking locations are in here. 7. That is it. This is it. 2 pages on the Artisans Quarter. All right. So if you look on here,
and he added like 23 years.
Well, some of these are already in here. So
okay.
Right?
So at least 20 more or something. Yeah.
Yes, he added a bunch of great things in here. There's a guild station, which is for the Night Watchman, which makes total sense. A lot of guild halls, the fruit of the mill. Look at this one here. Oops, Malden and Ellendaries. Where's my there we go, over here. Okay, so
yeah.
It's actually Malden himself. So Dorshot Crane's house, the Wild Goose, the 9 of Swords. Now the 9 of Swords is an expedition to ruins of Greyhawk. Okay, so that got ported from this to, and I talked about that guy. Actually, you met Serenok. They met. Serenok was dueling with my specialty pieces of Kellen when we started the adventure on Thursday night at his training studio. That's how, and he actually met that guy on Eastern. They mean Philly accents. Yeah, by Eastern, that's what they mean. South Jersey Philly accent. All right, but look at all these other locations. Now they never get to all these in the journals. Only Clarksburg, which is issues 4 and 5, are detailed. All these locations at Clarksburg. We'll go over some of them. So the rest of these, I believe, are on Malden's site.
Okay? Yeah.
A lot of
them. Yeah, he has a bunch of them.
All right, so here's the Artisans Quarter. So we don't build. I agree. We don't. So you have some detail here that is really lacking in the Free City Greyhawk box set. I'm like, content, great, right? And that is a wonderful thing. You got the guild halls noted. You got the architect. I think the architect and stonemasons guild hall was noted in the original, but you have some really cool locations here. That the fruit. Here's the fruit of the mill. Catering to the traffic flowing in and out of Druid's Gate, the modest shop known as the Fruit of the Mill specializes in domestic wines, ales, pastries, cheeses, and dried meats. Sounds cool.
Yep.
Something neat. Something cool. New City Fountains. This is new. The attractive pool, which dates back to days of Greyhawk's first expansion, features several stone and metal fountains that can project water as high as 30 feet.
That's one of the other interesting things that I want to kind of figure out is how the water, because they one way they can do it, meaning if you look at it, no magic involved, so to speak, the easy way, because they have a river, so they can basically just dig a hole in the ground and have a well and open a little channel, and that way they will get water anywhere, so to speak. But I think in a fantasy city it will be kind of cooler, and they can also do what the Romans did, because they have the hills basically next door, so they can have an aqueduct that feeds in water from higher elevation, and that means the rich people and powerful ones, and they can have fountains and water kind of effects and the cool stuff. Public ones and rich and famous and kind of cool people can actually have running water inside that way. That you can do even without magic. You can do that, and then you can add some magic to it, and you can do some really cool stuff.
Yeah. So it doesn't detail though how it's happened. So
exactly, it's something that I think you can, each team, you should kind of tweak it. But if I do develop a concept, I think I want to see what I can do with, because I will develop an elevation map, so I can kind of start seeing if there is a possibility of doing it without disturbing the concept too much, so to speak, because I don't want to upset things too much. I want the city to try and be true to what's already there. It's just that I want to add rather than change, so to speak. That will be the key.
Thanks, Josh. New badge. 13 months. So if you notice, though, it does say a popular spot for young neighborhood couples meet after hours. And the Thieves Guild, ever aware of the most pedestrian opportunities for blackmail plant apprentices in the park. That's awesome.
Yep.
So Night Watch Guild Station, Fat of the Hog is here. Hallmaster's Hall. I don't even, it's cloth trade. There you go.
Okay.
So they've done a lot of stuff with the guilds here, which is good fleshing out, because a lot of the guilds. Yeah. Because if you're doing a Greyhawk City adventure and you stay there, a lot of your characters may want to join these guilds for information, for money, or whatever. And most of them were described in the union and labor section, but not the locations of the buildings. Yeah. So this is good. This is good that this was fleshed out. And
also, since Greyhawk is a metropolis, meaning it's one that deals both with internal local trade, meaning they have the ones that buy and sell goods within the city, and you have the ones that market various things like food or whatever to the citizens and the people that live in Greyhawk. But you also have the international trade, and I think you can have different levels of guilds and different versions of guilds, meaning you can have guilds that deal with import and exports rather than trade within the city, and you can have others that wholesalers and resellers and exporters and importers. So meaning you have a multi-tier economy. If you take like a little town like Hamlet or something, then Hamlet, you basically have the local traders and maybe have one guy who imports some things that needs to be imported, but most of it just a local. Greyhawk City is like a financial center. It's an export import. It's like Hong Kong, London, New York, Singapore, these kind of metropolises in the big world, that in the real world, that makes a lot of its economy is not catering to its own citizens. It's catering to the world in a way. And I think Greyhawk has a lot of that potential too in a fantasy campaign, which makes it, you can have adventures in many different levels. You can have political intrigue that affects the world. You can have local thievery. You can have the robbers that goes around at night, and you can have multiple levels of adventuring and stuff at once. So I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good, because this ties into this Grand Tent, the political. Okay. So A10, Grand Tent, which this is another new area. Among the myriad places of political power in the city of Greyhawk must be counted the Grand Tent, a permanent red and white striped pavilion of fire-resistant cloth situated on the south edge of the low market. Before the dawn each day, a cabal of accountants, merchants, guards, and priests of Zilchus gather to discuss the day to come. They sell booth licenses, and the group handles disputes between merchants and customers. So basically, it is like a go-to place for the comings and goings in this section of town.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and you have, like, each town has, like, especially in America, you have the local various associations for people that do business and stuff like that, and then you have like the equivalent of the lobbyists and the trade unions and various, like, the businesses and stuff. So you can kind of paint a complicated picture that can be multi-layered. When they're low level, they deal with things in their little block, and then they can kind of move up the ladder, so to speak.
Yeah, Josh, you're absolutely correct. Legitimate businessmen's club, and that's
exactly. And then you have the basement ones, that the beggars unions, the thieves unions, and other who deal with the illegitimate businesses, meaning the ones that they have to pay an informal license to steal or to sit and sell whatever food scraps in the corner and all sorts of stuff that Gary depicts really cool in these books, when they have the wars between the beggars and the thieves unions and their allies and enemies and stuff.
And I see not so there's a very little bit of crossover, because Aaron Tall gets mentioned in these and stuff, but it's not there's not as much as I would have thought.
No, but it should be a lot, because this was developed in-house in TSR, while with reference to the box set, so to speak. But then Gary left the company, was ousted, or however you see it. That meant that he took a lot of his vision was not realized within TSR. So that's where you have two kind of conflicting views of the city, or complementary, depending on how you see it.
We had a question on the Cloth Makers Guild. Carmen Howlmaster. He's in the Directing Oligarchy, the Union of Merchant and Traders, and the Thieves Guild. There you go. So, yep. He's made a number of powerful enemies in his day. An assassination attempt left him with an incurable nervous tremor that has forced him to walk with a cane, left him with limited ability to hold things. The attack had no effect on his business acumen, however. There you go, Hawk, for that question.
Cool.
Here's an adventuring gear, Eridox Expeditions Provisions. And this is the one. Here we go. So you got it. Here comes Mike. All right, there we go. Awesome. We got Mike coming on too. Awesome. Yay. Very, very cool. Hey, awesome, Hello. Mike. Good discussion tonight. We're going over the Malden stuff and going over some of my campaign stuff in Greyhawk, and I'm glad you could hop in, man.
Yeah.
Troy paid good points for me to come
Yes, extra. You get extra.
He paid the way. So note this: you got to give Dennis some credit. He's brazen enough to put himself in. There you go.
Yeah, his own character. That's kind of cool. Who can say that? Not many of us will ever have a character in our favorite campaign world. So
so it says one fact confirmed by insiders high in the hierarchy of the Guild of Wizardry is that both Malden and Elendari are very powerful mages. They seldom seen in public. They seem to have no interest in meddling with city affairs. It's windowless 2-story building of blackest basalt blocks. So. I guess he just did it just because to say, "Hey, we put our place here, right, Mike?"
Yeah. Well, if you write for a kind of a public thing that to be published by TSR Wizards of the Coast, then you get a chance to put your stuff, put your mark on it. So
here it is. It says the shop serves as an alternative source for spell components and minor elixirs for who prefer not to deal with the Guild of Wizardry. So they have the front desk is manned by a 10th level wizard. Wow.
See, there you go.
Not just some fish stick. If you know what that word means, fish stick means low level nobody. Dorshot Crane's house, Darrett Hebron's tower. So they put a lot of. Mike, you ever gone through these?
So, not in a long time.
No, same here.
I'm guessing the last few you mentioned are all new.
Yeah, most of them are. Yeah, considering there's only 7 locations in this book at the Artisans Quarter, and there's a city. One of them's a city watch station with a line and a half. You know, and the fruit of the mill and the fat of the hog are 2 other establishments. But I'm appreciative, and I did not know about this until,
Yeah, I have one question one issue that I wanted to sort out. I mean, not take it now, but before I remember, while I remember it, there's 2 pyramids on this thing, a blue and a yellow. Can you or Mike please inform me and others interested?
I answered this recently.
Yeah, Guild of Wizardry
to my players. One of them, one's the Guild. The other one, I believe, is the Temple of Zilchus.
Yes, it's not. Yes, so if we come up here,
there you go.
I believe the Guild of Wizardry's H13 and the Temple is Zilchus is G12, or is it the other way around? Let me check that real quick. Hey, that's okay. We can do that. It's not Jalarzi's Tower like a lot of people think. Hold on one second here. Let's go to our great book reference here, and we go to H13. I'm in G's there. Zilchus is G12. Yeah, there's a pyramid, and H13 is here. So there you go. And that is the Guild of Wizardry, which has a road to it, and then there's no door there. It's.
Oh yeah, well you have to wait and then teleport you in if you're worthy, I guess. Yep, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
definitely. It should be.
Absolutely. But we can go over some other areas too, definitely. The Wild Goose. At the end of the dead end alley, far from the busy shops, is a small, rundown, rather unmarketable neighborhood tavern with an absentee owner. The Wild Goose has mediocre drink, and the grumpy bartender provides poor service. Just the kind of tavern that only a local could love.
Yeah.
But
it's like the Greyhawk version of Faulty Towers. Yep.
It's a trick.
Oh, okay.
Unbeknownst to most, the front door is an interdimensional portal.
Ooh.
This goes to Iron Gate, if I recall correctly.
Aha! So the same place is both in Iron Gate.
Yeah, World Serpent Inn. It has.
Now I remember. Yes. Yeah. Now I heard about it. Yep.
Yes. So that is really cool. Yeah. See, this is it got some great stuff. So what I would recommend is getting Living Greyhawk Journal 2, 4, and 5 in PDFs. And so you have all the extra details. Because Kirksburg is in 2 episodes. Yes, absolutely. So we're doing good, Ragnar. We're doing real good. So let's see what else we got as we come down here. We got the Broken Staff, and that is a caters to wizards, sages, and academics.
And the City of Greyhawk box set is also available at PDF for $9.99 from Drive-Thru.
And that's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah, and you can get a reprint. You can get a reprint for $18 too. So,
that reprint is gorgeous.
So you're looking at, for something like this, you're looking at $250 minimum, probably $300 now for a sealed version of this.
Yeah.
For one that's open, I've seen them for $160. You know, it's crazy. It's insane. It's over. Earth Journal 29. We will get to Earth Journal 29. Heretic. I promise, because I have an article on Earth Journal 29.
Now I need to look at.
We're going to look at Earth Journal 29 tonight. Promise.
Maybe I do too.
Yeah, I think we all do, and that was the NPC Earth Journal. A lot of us do.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So the Broken Staff sounds like a cool place. Maps by Melezakan. Sounds backloonish.
See, that was a missed opportunity. Dennis could have made that Maps by Meyer or something.
No, but you see, with this, I was barely public in my mapping back then. At this time, I was a hobbyist sitting and doing it. I don't think I've even put up my website. Maybe I put up my website, but barely that. So I was reading this and started mapping, but those were the early days. Yeah.
Almost finished up this section here. Here's the 9 of Swords, and we talked about that. So you saw Serenok Thursday night. He's the one in Expeditions that wants Richard Damaris's grand Equalizer sword badly, and will do anything to get it. Kind of a side quest, and there's a ton of great side quests in Expeditions. The party didn't take him up on that, obviously, but yeah. So, and here's where I want to go. The very last post, the Abel Carter Coaching House. Okay. So Abel Carter Coaching House. I haven't asked this, and I believe here's the funny thing. So Dennis and I kind of are on the same wavelength. He created the Abel Carter Coaching House and put it in, and it got used in Expeditions Ruins of Greyhawk and in the Age of Worms. I have Pete and John's Teamster service, which is
that was your invention.
That's two of Tim's characters.
And they fill the same niche, kind of in the adventure wise.
Right, but they're both in existence now.
That's cool. Yeah, so they're competitors, or
yes, as you saw Thursday night, John got assassinated because of this. So Abel Carter. And here's the thing. Here's the door, and this is what this is all for this whole tie-in I wanted to talk about. Abel Carter in this book, the door gets opened by Eric Mona and crew, gets infiltrated by Iusian agents. Bingo. Not hard to go from there, right? So the door's open. A couple Iusian agents get a hold in here. Thinking to myself, well, now the Iusian agents are here. They didn't kill all the Iusian agents in this book. They're still around. The army... That grand army coming up through the Underdark is not destroyed, but it's stuck down there and things are moving around. How can I tie that in? So after a year or two of in-game time, some of the big decision makers make it out of the Underdark. They tie in and they really try and take over the Abel Carter Coaching Company house in Greyhawk. And that's where we are on Thursday night. Make sense?
Yeah.
So that's what yeah. So there you go.
Cool.
A little
Yeah.
bit of a. Yeah, and several Nova Greyhawk core mods. So yeah, so Dennis has done his job here with
Yeah,
this.
but I think what you done, you showed how cool you can take your own content, you can take published content, and you can meld it and make it add to each other in furthering the story, so to speak.
Thank you.
I think
And
that's a good. I think that's a good example. Yeah.
what I love
Mhm.
about Greyhawk,
Yeah.
just in its entirety, the city
Yeah.
especially. There's so much opportunity to do this kind of
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah.
And run with the stories. I'm seeing if I have here. Let me see. It's on this one.
But it's a bit like the real world, meaning cities condense
Nope, not on
things,
that
meaning you get a lot of opportunity in one small space, and that's the same thing in real life as it is in adventuring life in a RPG, meaning you can have a lot of adventuring of various kinds in a very small geographical space, which is kind of interesting.
So Mike, I know you did a lot in Greyhawk. What was your favorite section that you loved messing around in?
We spent a lot of time in the foreign quarter, actually. So I'm kind of disappointed there wasn't an update on that. I mean.
Yeah, but you went with the TSR version, or did you went with Gary's version from his?
I did not get the books until like way after I played out the box set and all that.
Yep.
So the TSR version, the foreign quarter and river quarter kind of are like overlap all over the place. And I know we were talking about that when we first came on, and that is a mess between what they did in the Mountains map and Expeditions and up here. It is the numbers. You got to rejumble all this whole area. You got the foreign. See, as you notice, the foreign quarter runs on the inside loop and the river's on the outside, which is the same way on the original map. But there's a lot of changes that have to be made here. Oh, look. So here it is. Look, they actually put. There's Kellick's Tower back in there on this map. So, and then you got Perthan Estate I put here, and then Zuokin's temples here, for example. So you have stuff running along that. All right. So from that, you have how do I get this on my table? And that was what I wanted to just show real quick here. And if you didn't see it, here's what I came up with. All right. So this is what I ended up with on Thursday. All right, the Petty Bazaar probably should take up almost the whole table, but I can't. I don't have enough. I don't have
a little bit of concession. Yeah.
So also, I think when you're a DM, you have poetic license to not have everything that's on a map or on a location there that you don't need. So the whole city's huge. So I have moved.
It's part of your game style. What you need to include or not in order to run the game the way you want and your players want. That I think that's the game style dictates a lot of what you do this way, so to speak.
Cool.
Some game styles you gloss over certain things, and in other game styles you dig deep into other aspects of the game. And I think that's the key here. You dig deeper into. The game should contain what you and your players want it to contain. I think that's the key bit.
And to have it so it's functioning. So, like, if I was playing in a VTT and just going around the map, it would be a different story. But playing this style, you really need to have. And here's a view from the back. So, what I did here was I condensed it down. So that building that looks like the stables over here. This is the Pete and John's Teamster Service warehouse right here.
Oh,
okay.
Cool.
All right. So that's there. This back here, our great Bill Craft piece. That is Starshines. Now I added a bar into. I didn't want to mess around with any of the name places for combat and all the stuff that was going to happen in there because there were some big fights that went on. I made up a whole new place called Starshines, and it fits. It's right on the edge of the section.
Nice. Catch it.
Thank you. And this area here, this is Abel Carter's base. Now it says it's walled, so I took Bill's walls, put walls around it, and it's basically a complex of multiple buildings, just like it states, but it's on the wrong side of the map, in the Expeditions map and the Mountain map. So I moved it to the other side of the street. No big deal. No one's going to punish me for that. So hey, what's up? So that is where we are in this section of the Petty Bazaar. And just my thought process of how I want everyone to online to know, I try and really give ode to the history and the canon as much as
Yeah.
possible.
Mhm.
To know, I really respect and appreciate what everyone has done before me with this,
Yeah.
you know, and that
Yeah.
and the mountain stuff's wonderful.
Yeah. This is
And,
really cool. Oh, sorry. Go on.
oh, go ahead. I don't know. Okay.
I was just going to say this is super cool, and I just want to add a few things for people that
please.
want to look at the Gary version, because what Gary did with the foreign quarters is that he made it a city within the city that is walled in by itself.
Let me see if
So
I have
it's
that
it's
one.
a city that is a bit like Hong Kong in China or something. It's a place where there are slightly different commercial rules and stuff like that. So you can probably like get a special commercial
There it
license
is.
to sell and buy things only within the foreign quarters that are it's looser, so to speak. You have it on the right side there. Yeah, there you have it walled in and separate there. So there you
Yep.
go. Yeah.
Yep.
Halfway up on the right, there is like a city within the city where separate walled in version of the city.
Blackgate
So, yeah.
leads to the foreign car. Thank you, Jason.
Yeah.
So note
So you have
that
4 gates on. Oh, sorry. Go on.
no, I want to stress something. The lettering, the locations on this map, I believe, are the locations in this 3 City Grout box set
Yes.
on this map. They're still
Yep.
here, but they're
Yep.
just in different places.
Yeah, and you have it in color. I only have it in black and white.
Oh, I don't know where I got this. This is actually
I
a
don't
nice
know.
copy. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. Here's the foreign quarter right here, and there's.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. There's Beggar's Black
I
Gate
think
and
Joe
stuff.
Block did that map.
It's nice. It's really nice.
I think so. I think that's his version of the.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
and
very
he took
nicely
this.
done.
Yeah. So that will be one of the inputs I want to do. I think this. Yeah, Jason. I think this is Jim Block's. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is. Yep.
He did a very good job with it, and it's nicely done. And he paid ode to what's past, which was done by noting all the previous locations in the Free City Grout box set.
And that's what I want to do when I dig into the city too. Yep.
So for me, I'm gonna move forward with the Malden map, and I'm gonna move forward with combining the River Quarter, Foreign Quarter, and up here in the Clarksburg area, we have Salem has a house, and a couple other people have houses up here. The Fellowship of the Torch has a house up here. We also have, I believe that this was Lena's house that she sold. We also have down in the down here, this street here, if I recall correctly, in the very bottom of the, notice the foreign quarter runs on this the entire length from here all the way up. I believe this is the Tritherian Worshipers Street where the Tritherian bell goes off, Mike, you know, ding, ding, ding. All the time.
Okay.
I believe F-19 is Adaluke's house, which when Adaluke was, there's actually an adventure, and I forget, Bill, there was an adventure that you was run, I believe it's a Dungeon Magazine adventure, or it is one of those 3.5 adventures that Skip Williams and his wife did. You remember those little 1-page or 2-pagers that you could, his house goes up for auction. So they actually it's been purchased by Alan's character. His gnome illusionist thief owns it now, and he everything that he petrifies with his chromatic orb, he drills the back of the head out so they can't come back and dispel it, and he puts them all its lawn ornaments on the front lawn now. Yeah, so yeah. Cool. Now there are a lot of statues. Yeah, so there's a lot of cool other things that are going on in this, but I'm gonna start that merger back into this map, and that's what I wanted to discuss with everyone. That it doesn't matter. You could Joe Block map or that original Greyhawk map, or this map, and then you just run with it, and you don't have to get into as much. Mike, would you agree with this? Get into as much minutiae as you can do as a DM, but don't overdo it. Makes sense?
Yeah, my rule is to always have a bit more than what your players will ever ask for or demand or be interested in, so to speak. The perfect amount of DM planning is just a little bit more than what your players could think of they want, so to speak. And plan a little bit more than what your players demand. And then you're good. But then tell me if someone figures out how to do that, then please tell me, because I need it more than any other DM. But I think that's the golden rule that we should try and strive for, so to speak, to provide a little bit more than what our players need and want and desire. Yeah.
So Morpheus brings up, he's going to get robbed now that we know where he lives. Here's a funny story, Morpheus. So his character, Kroger BlackRock, Gnome Illusionist Thief, and Tim's dad's character, Tim's dad's name's John, Petronius Niger took the Druid Thief, a halfling, which is a very, very powerful combination. And he's like the highest level Druid brought up from first in our game. I think he's like 12/12 now, Bill, or something like that. With 12th level Druids get 7th level spells. They don't like each other. So this is actually Tim's dad says whenever Kroger goes out, he gets animal friendship spells of wild dogs and stuff, and they go out and they try and hump the gnome's leg and things. And yeah, so there's that going on between characters in the same adventuring party. Just a little, tit for tat, annoying each other. So just note that goes on. So yes, amongst other, yeah, sounds right. Yeah, Bill says that. There you go. So Mike and Anna, is there any notes of location in Clarksburg or the Artisan Quarter that you found interesting for where we'll go on?
Well, when you were going through the Artisan Quarter, you did maps by mold as a can, and then you went to Abel Carter. You skipped right over the Grinning Mammoth.
Oh, okay. Let me get.
This looks like
go right back to it.
This looks like it would be a nice starting point for a certain adventure.
Let me take a look here as we go back to it. We can pop this right back up. All right, and we'll go right back to it. No problem. I got all excited when I saw Abel Carter. There it is, the Grinning Mammoths.
Grinning Mammoth.
One of the smallest shops on Brick Lane is a favorite destination for local children who are attracted to the fantastic creations of renowned toy maker Sen Theleme. Ah.
Uh-oh.
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 But,
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, it's puppets time, everyone.
Yeah. Apparently, this person sells their soul to the devil or something for these diabolical toys. I don't know. He never used it, but I thought it was kind of funny.
Well, you know what? We may at one point, Kroger's very rude, as Tim says, yes. We may at one point do that in the next fundraiser. You never know. That or Child's Play is probably up unless someone comes up with Eric, Mona, and the crew come up with a better idea. But I still may go for Doom Grinder and do some dystopian Greyhawk version of it. You never know. So there you go on puppets. So if you want to start your puppets adventure,
I don't know if they have anything to do with each other. But
it sounds like they do. That's very funny.
But no, I'd have to go back and look at the clerk.
Yeah, I'm going to pop up. I'm going to pop up Journal 4 now. Let's pop up.
I want to say I used Clerkburg more than I did the Artisans Quarter. That's just a guess, though.
Let's go to Clarksburg here. All right, so here we go. And this is 6 pages. This is only half of it.
Yeah, there's not much new here, if at all, probably.
All right, Grey College, which there's a lot more detail on the college here.
Yes, a lot of detail.
All right. And as you can see in this area, with this area here on the original bright green Greyhawk map is about half as filled as this. So they've added a lot. And as you can notice, they've done sub buildings for the Grey College down. That's 19. So we're C1. Or maybe that's it. C19. Is that it? Let me just see. C1A. Maybe that's what it's supposed to be, and they put 19 down there by accident. Let me take a look. Oh, there it is. C1AB. Here it is up here. So C19 is probably the Grey College. Is it? Oh, students' quarter. Students' quarters. Dorm rooms.
Huh? Yeah. How nice. Well, he's thinking. I mean, yeah. Where are they staying?
Yeah. And look what else he's done here. They've done residences of Derrida Fanchon and Elranian Tesmarian, which are not done up at all. And
yeah, that is.
Yeah, that's good.
I wonder if there was some they had to make room for the Zeep article or something. There's some cutting room floor stuff.
It's possible.
I can't imagine. Now that I'm flipping through it, they stop at C12, the Free City Arena. That's only halfway through.
So your thought is, well, Gnarly House is in there. What number is Gnarly House? In the original Greyhawk.
C18.
Okay, is it C18 in here too? Let me see.
I'm looking at Malden's.
Oh yeah. Okay.
List.
No. You mean on this? No.
In the Living Greg Journal.
Oh no, it's in number 5.
Hmm.
It's in number 5. So if we go to this, and so from after 18, the rest of it's new because 18 is the last one in the original in this, and that is Gnarly House, which is kind of cool. It's funny. It's where all the toughs hang out and they all just stay drunk the whole time. It's
So, I mean, I'm sorry, but in this issue,
right. But if you
it stops at
C12,
the arena.
Right. But if you go to Living Greyhawk Journal 5, it should pick up. It should. Let me see.
That is what I have.
Oh, Jim the Fanish, Clarksburg Part 2. All right, now it goes over some of the locations.
Clarksburg Part 2.
Yes. Yes. Okay, and it also details some of the earlier sea areas largely with large discussions, magical arts, way more detail than the Free City Greyhawk set. C7, Bard School. I mean, this is
must be missing an issue. I only found two.
Free City Arena. So wait a minute, that one only went up to 12 as well, huh? They both went up to 12. That's weird, Mike.
Yeah. They just did not have the room for it. They could have really spanned this out over many, many issues.
Yeah, because then they didn't do any in 6 and afterwards. So why don't you know what? That's a good question. Why don't we ask? I'll ask Malden or Eric next time, and also I'll put that down as you do when they ask the experts and say what happened here. Did you run out? We can continue and just ran out of time. Eric Mona at this point, I don't even know how he did it all. He was so busy at that point in time. So
I think that he works that way. He does miracles. So
good point. I did not notice that. It only goes up to 12 on both.
Yeah, I would probably look at Malden's list of stuff from these maps, then ask Dennis if he's done anything with these locations he created, and if not, and maybe see if he would open them up to a post-fest or campfire.
It's a great idea. That's a fantastic idea, Mike.
There's got to be something unfinished here.
Speaking of that, and did I do next week's? Hopefully I did. Nope, TBD still. I didn't do it. So I TBD'd it. It was one of those days here, but let me just hit this. Nomads, Rovers, and Ulv next week. That would be really cool. But the week after as well, Cannon Fire's 20th anniversary. So note this. You may get some post-fest discussion for the latest post-fest in that as well, and that would be in 2 Wednesdays. And that'll be the last Legends lore for the week after that. I will be on vacation down the Jersey Shore. So no lazy day. I had a disaster today. It started off with a good day, and then my washing machine, all the water started coming out of the bottom. So yeah, it just it was not a fun day. So yes. But we got it all cleaned up, and one of those. Hey, Mandy, I think your game is sold out.
Ooh.
Cool.
Yes, I think Mandy's Tomb of the Lizard King game is completely sold out, which is awesome. Yes, almost positive.
Good idea for a game.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so hang out a little bit here, and now note that there's some good stuff in here, and we'll try and find out some more and see if Malden can give us some more information or direction as to maybe he has these detailed up somewhere instead of just line by line saying what they are throughout this. Because there's a lot more. I mean, these T locations go up higher. The slums is about the same, up to 8. It's about the same here. Maybe 9, 10, 11. Maybe he did a little bit more there. The foreign quarter, it looks like he did a little bit more here. Up to 25. I think he kept these. There's some minor differences up here, but for the most part, I think the high quarter and the river and the garden quarter are very similar.
Threw a link in the chat, a little snippet from the Castle Greyhawk webcomic I did with Scott Casper. There were certain chapters where he would have me tooling the characters around the city of Greyhawk, and we would often I would reference these maps for the
Awesome. And that's
locations. And this link is an interior shot I did of the Green Dragon.
And yeah, everyone click on that link. It's a pretty cool Castle Greyhawk post there with a really nice cartoon there too on that. Man, that's one book I wish I could have gotten, man. When that came out, 2017? Right before I became
possibly.
Yeah, I'll have to look on eBay.
I stopped doing the comic at the beginning of 2019.
Okay.
So the Scott's compilation might have been in 2020.
Okay. It was last year?
Yeah, it must have been, or shortly after.
Yeah, it was like 2 years ago, I think.
Okay.
When I got the PDF and was involved in cleaning, helping, did some technical help on it. So
yeah,
I think it was 2 years ago now.
Right.
Yeah, 2019 and we're 2021. So yeah, I think it was 2019.
So audience, location questions. Now, if you think they're mundane or silly, don't worry about it. But in Greyhawk City, note there aren't any silly or stupid questions. So as you can see, there's the Free City Arena. Now, this thing is huge. And if you do Age of Worms, there's a whole thing going on in it.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say is it expands on the underground part of it.
Yes. Here was a question early on about, and my arena in Altamira will not be that big during GreyhawkCon, but you get the idea. It'll be decent sized. So here's all the Assassins and Thieves Guild connections and this is in the Free City Greyhawk box set. I know this came up. Mac, I think, asked this question. So you got a lot of these. You got the old crypts and the new crypts, and it shows you all those. And there's the Thieves Guild connection and the Assassins Guild connection. So that is, and there's also a sewer map, which I don't think I put into my map booklet here.
I think Meldon has it on melcott.com.
Oh, he does. You know what? I do have a Meldon version of it, but it's hard to see.
Exactly, but he did some stuff.
He did one too.
There's some.
Here, let me just real quick. Let me go to maps. I know I have it on here.
Yes.
Maps, Greyhawk. I bet you I have a couple.
Yeah.
Where's it, Meldon? I don't know where it is. But yeah, there is one. There is one for that. Yeah, Meldon does give a sewerish one. I have no idea where I placed it, unfortunately, which is a shame. But I know there is one for Meldon, and it's just a Meldon Greyhawk map. I thought I had it in here, and I don't see it. So sorry about that.
Well, on his website with the map, you just got to keep scrolling down.
Oh yeah, there is one map of this. It's his version of the.
Yeah, it's just his city map with the sewer stuff superimposed over it. He didn't.
Yeah, and then he has the.
Oh wait a minute! I found it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. There you have it.
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, all right. Okay, so
Thanks,
and notice he extrapolates on this area of the under area of the Thieves Guild and the Assassins Guild areas, and then has running a lot of the other areas as well. What exactly is the River Quarter? I'll discuss the River Quarter for you there in a second, because we'll go over some of the things that are going on in my campaign in Greyhawk in a second here. So nobody's perfect, Josh especially. So hi, Josh. So there you go. And this is an area I got to tell the Scott Casper story. So one of the first Greyhawk All-Star adventures I ran was Mike played and Scott Casper played, and it was a delve into the King's Tomb, right? And so Scott went to the front door, and Scott's character, all he wanted to do was knock down every single door. So I chapped every door. So he hit the door, trap went off. He hit the door. He wouldn't wait for anyone to check him or anything. And that was in this area here. That was funny. Yeah, it was a blast. So there you go, and that's it. But Meldon did a good job working this up too. I think that the sewers lines would be much more intricate than this, but probably passable.
It's a great start.
It's a great start, which means you can do branches off of this, and no one's going to complain. You know, this is a great start for doing underground work on it. He did a fantastic job, and look, these run way out to somewhere. So Run out. So
Nice.
Dennis is really good at this kind of stuff. Dennis
Yep.
is great on detail, which is fantastic. All right. Someone said Earth Journal 29. Earth Journal 29. July of 2019. This is an NPC discussion. Mike, what was your input to this one? Do you remember?
So I'm sorry. I was
I'm going to bring it
dealing
up.
with the chat. So we switched to
Earth Journal 29, yeah.
29.
Let's take a look here.
Yeah.
And this is available right on Greyhawk Online. You can get it. Mike, where are you, Mike? Michael Gross.
Might not be in that one.
Frog Sama.
Sometimes all I do is the comics.
I don't. Mike, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't do that one.
So, but here we go.
Oh.
So I have an NPC, one of the characters from Horror in the Holes, and then here's my article that I want to discuss, and that is the Free Swords of Greyhawk City.
All right.
So if you know about the Free City Greyhawk box set, and then especially From the Ashes, what does it do that I found really cool? It talks about adventuring groups. So we kind of ran with this. Let me make this a little smaller so I can move this thing faster. Oh, there's Saltmarsh. This is all the old Earth journals are great and they're free for everyone to download. You probably want to go in and download them. All right, so here's the Free Swords of Greyhawk City. So what do I do? I'm going to try to relay what we do in my adventuring thing that makes us different from a lot of others. We have 26 active adventuring groups in our campaign over 41 years. They all are in existence still. That doesn't count the Order of Ulick. That doesn't count those mega organizations. You can be a member of an adventuring group and be in the Order of Ulick, which we have a lot of characters like that. So what I try to do in this is go over what we did with our adventuring groups. And here's our listing in order of notoriety at the time of all of the adventuring groups we have active in Greyhawk. Now, note that the ones with a number next to them are from canon published source, and the 2 as well, which means I haven't really messed with them. And then we have Iron Brigade, we have the Legion, Cratch's Liberators, Vengeful Justice, the Grey Company, Iron Fury, and the Gnarlyman is the one we use for our kids now, by the way, our kids game with myself, Bill, and Tim, and our sons. We kind of purloined the Gnarlyman, which was the worst group at the time. And so then in this, I discuss a lot of the groups and what they do. So we have a notoriety system of adventurers in multiple cities. And I was really happy to put in, and by the way, my son was so happy, his character got named in here in Gnarlyman, and so did Bill's character, Sean the Slayer. His son's name's Sean. So they got their names in the magazine. They were like, "Hey!" So they were happy about that. That the kids got their groups in here. But this kind of discusses what we're trying to do with adventuring groups and how there's rivalry between groups, and there's other groups that are button heads and people don't get along, especially like Fighters of the Light. So fast forward that to today. This is updated. All right. There's been some additions here recently. And this is what we're going to go over, some of them and Anne is part of, right? So we have the Iron Brigade still. The Iron Brigade has freed Tensor in Return of the Eight, has defeated the Iusian army and did expeditions to the ruins of Greyhawk, defeated the original mongrels of the Putrid Tongue, and some other things. So they're like the highest rated mercenary group.
At the top.
They also were part of the fundraiser up for our first ever fundraiser, the first time Anna ever played. Anna, you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see.
Yeah.
This is going to be a really bad pick because we were not good at doing this stuff back then. This is the end of the very first fundraiser where in the Cairn Hills, Emerical the Chaotic freed some ancient dragons to cause trouble because of the orb. Remember, it was the Orbs of Dragonkind mega stream event. We had 4 streams. We had 3 of them go off. We raised $1,020 the first year we did it. Anna played Mariel, and these are all the characters in it. As you can see,
But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no 3D prints back then, but this group did that too as well. So that's where we are on that. Fellowship of the Torch is noted in published source. No dead Grimmy Fisher in my campaign. He exists still in my campaign. Corellin's Arrows, published source, but worked up. So what I like to do, another thing, if you want to bring detail to your campaign, a little hint for DMs, make them come to life by interacting. Take published source characters that are not big deals. I love Blade Storm, right? I love the Fellowship of the Torch people. I have them all written up and worked up stat wise for modern where they are, and this is the group now, and they interact with the characters. Take that, and that'll help you breathe some life into your campaign by. And I'm not talking about taking Mordenkainen. Now Tensor maybe, but in Jalarzi definitely. But we're not talking about taking Orgnention and those and Nerf Gosgill and Rary and we're talking about they're in a couple paragraphs. Mike, what are some characters you've used in your campaigns that have interacted with your parties?
Well, so like rivals
or friends,
adventuring groups,
or friends.
I don't think I ever used the Fellowship Torch. I think I did use Wazine.
Collarless, yes.
Golden Scimitars.
Golden Scimitar, yes.
I like them.
Very cool.
Some of those groups, they're probably not on your list, but some of those gladiator groups in the Age of Worms were great. And I think they would be, some of them would be adventuring groups who just enter, just like the player characters do. They enter their adventuring group, and then they had to come up with a snazzy name.
But that's easily done. And note another thing. So take those groups and run with them. And I'm not talking about have combats to the death with your party members, because then there's no coming back. But have them get on the same mission, or have them bidding for a mission to get against each other, or have them a fight in a bar or over a slight. Right? There's all sorts of great things you can do. So, how's our little Baker assassin going? Exactly. So, this is Corellin's Arrows. There's another group. All that's mentioned is they're all multi-class, and one of the leaders a druid mage. That's all that's mentioned. So I had to make them all up from scratch. Done all that, and they interact a lot with the group. And then here's the joke one. Joe. Mike, I'm glad you're on. You'll get the joke. Here's the Fighters of the Light. You ready for the names of these?
Yep, here we go.
Here we go. There you go. Glenn Wesley, Shane Doan, Eric Rasmussen, Rich Pilon, Ted Drury, Joe Sacco, and Chris King.
Nice. Not even
good ones. Bad hockey goons from the 90s. As you can see,
you're consistent. You're consistent.
Yes.
What adventuring group is Joey Koser?
He's not in one. I guess he was too good. What's his name from the Chicago Blackhawks? Their big fighter back then. Who was the big fighter from the Blackhawks in the 90s and early 2000s? Big name, yeah. Koser was kind of on that level with him. You don't see Tiger Williams on here, or you don't see Claude Lemieux on here.
Was it? I don't know. We could talk about hockey all day.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Bob Probert's not on here either. Probert. Yeah, so there you go. So, but that's. Yeah, this is in the 90s. I'm like, what am I going to name all these idiots? Look, they're all lawful neutral idiots, right? It's the Fighters of the Light. I'm just going to make them all hockey goon names, and that's perfect. So, yes. Yeah, it was Probert, definitely. So, yeah, we're talking about guys that didn't make the list here. So there you go. And note on that there. You have
my character is Joey Koser.
Yeah, exactly. Joseph Koser.
So
you have
he needs to get on that list. He needs
But he's not a Fighter of the Light, though. He's a servant of St. Benedor.
That's true. Well, yes. Benedor needs to make some inroads in this area.
Yeah, isn't Quisp a cereal, Mandy? I think it's a cereal I think it was a cereal from the 60s and 70s. Wow. It didn't make the, I'm almost positive. Yeah. So there you go. But the name of the leader of that group is from Canon. Yeah, Crisp and Quake. That's it. I'm showing my age there. I knew
Wow.
that. All right. So you have those groups that are made up, and we have all of our adventuring groups. And from there, you have new groups on here. You have Cannon Fodder and the Barrier Geeks that have made the place finally on here. And notice, but the kids groups are higher. I just did that to make the kids feel better. The kids groups are higher than those two groups. These are Living Greyhawk groups that adventure. The Cannon Fodder group is Casey Brown and the Verbal Blanc people, and we haven't really adventured with them in a little while. Last one, and then Barrier Geeks is Eric Mengi, Jose Ortiz, and that group, and we did the Miss Marsh adventure with them. So they have both. They're actually adventuring Greyhawk, and they've made it into the campaign. And Anna's played with both of them, and so I've added those groups in. So you have more groups in there now. How do you?
I feel I missed out that I didn't do rival adventuring groups like you did. That sounds like a lot of fun. My players actually, or maybe me, I used to keep track of wizard rankings. I did the wrong thing. I had the Circle of Eight and Boneheart Wizards. Those were
that's cool
NPCs that I was always comparing my players, wizards to, and just making enemies out of both neutral and evil.
But there's nothing wrong with that at all. So here's, as you can see, there's Garn and there's Imri, and this is the Cannon Fodder group. I noticed at this point I didn't have a figure for this character, so that was Vernon Vincent's, but that turned into Jose Ortiz's in this one, his Inquisitor, which you'll see on Saturday night. Jose will be playing in the Mike Disney group with that character. Yeah. So and here's that group. So both groups we have figures for them, just like we have for our other adventuring groups. And if we go down here, so here's the Iron Brigade themselves. You can see all on the table. These are the super high level characters.
Wow, how many are in the Iron Brigade?
Counting Pete and John,
a whole bunch.
I'm going to say 14 or 15.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but remember, they don't all adventure at the same time. And
also, each player has like 2 characters?
Some of 3, actually, because different adventures went different places. So, for example, you have Trevin and Brolin, who are in Narwhal now, are members of this adventuring group, but now they're in Narwhal almost permanently. So, and then you have Pete and John, who are actually part of this group, who rarely had adventured. And then you have, so mostly the front 2 rows are the main adventuring group here. The front 2 rows. You have the redhead back here, that's Corellia, who usually sends you on missions back in Greyhawk. The one who is at the Orderville headquarters, that's her. Alphonse, who was in the adventure Tuesday night, the deputy guildmaster of the Night Watch, is back here. So yeah, there's a lot in this group. Oh, this is Bladestorm too. Bladestorm's back here. So I have her figure in here because she's adventuring with, and she's not a member of that group, just so I know where the miniature is. So there you go. Yeah, because you got to find stuff. Yep. So, and then you have real quick. We'll do a couple others. I have pics for them, and then we'll move on here. This one is all right. So this one here. There's Tira in the back. You have Mordenkainen's miniature. That's an actual Wizards miniature from the 2000s.
Yeah.
You have Jalarzi's painted miniature that Bill did up that we did for Jalarzi, and Edwina right next door. Okay. And you have this figure. I think that's a big name character from Forgotten Realms. One of the Silver Hands or whatever, Storm. It could be. It's one of those. I use that for Nastasia Ariane Nightstar. Look, the Torch of Anaxander's right in her hand. It's a perfect figure for her, right? She's got a sword and a torch, so it was perfect for her. So there you go on those. Yeah, I know, Bill. So old and so terrible, but you've come a long way, and people understand that completely. And then the group we are playing, we'll do one more. The group we are playing tonight on Thursdays, Vengeful Justice. We'll go to them just so you see.
It's a good name.
Yeah, and they're the lawful neutrals. They're mostly, hey, do it at any cost. And here they are, that group up front. And so you see most of them in there. You have the dwarf. It's Alan's dwarf. There's Dimitri. Bill's character wasn't there Thursday. Crystal Gradavis, and then the rest of the group in the back there. So they're the invention groups. So Ramoku's just the mileage. Tell me about it. The mileage, ton of it. Bill, people understand about your paint jobs. They really do. Oh my God! If you got started doing mini, yeah, you got so and Mandy, I don't, I've tried to say ways. We did an event, a whole Gabbin on ways to do things economically. I think the best thing you can do, real quick, is you take way back there. See those the Raffles of Chardalon and the Legend of Drizzt, Ravenloft, Temple of Elemental Evil. There's a ton of great minis to scale in those. They're unpainted plastics. You buy them. You find them cheap because they're all usually on discount. And you get like 40 or 50 minis in those boxes, and they're all to scale, and then you paint them there, and that's a good start point, for getting some minis that are pretty economical, that are actually Greyhawk type minis. Yeah. So, all right. So adventuring, Anna, anything memorable in Greyhawk for you?
Not much. I've stayed, for the most part, I've actually stayed away from it. We had some, just, it was more like we were there touristing a little bit from now and then, so to speak. That was about it. I was kind of, it was too big of a thing to fry for me back then, so to speak. And so we were there touristy. It was somewhere you went and spent the money on the Wheel of Gold.
Nice
or
place
something
to
like
visit when one lived there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was basically what we used the city for. So I tried to, because I never felt I was ready for it yet. And now I feel like I need to get into it, so to speak. So now is the time for me to bite the bullet and dig into it. Or now, meaning within a few years. Yeah.
It's the Cairn Hills are there, Harby's there, Narwhal's there.
Yeah.
Near Thieves there, Elmshire. I mean, there's so much in the area.
Yeah. I've been to the Wild Coast. I've been to Celine. I've been to various places in like Narwhal and a little bit of Hardby and the southern Celinton and stuff like that. The adventure there on the Wild Coast and down, so to speak, into the Sus and stuff. We were there back in the day, but the city was just a stopover. Same thing with Divers, a stopover.
So Heretic, I don't know if you were on earlier, but I talked about how I incorporated a case of measles into my expedition to Ruins of Greyhawk. If you look on the event real quick, adventure log, adventure 810, a case of measles. It's in part of the Great Burn area, and I linked it all into my expedition to Ruins of Greyhawk mega campaign right before we went streaming back in 2017. Just so you know that, yes, I love me a good adventure. Mike, how about you, man? What's memorable for you in Greyhawk?
Greyhawk. Well,
in the city or
the fun thing about that city Greyhawk box set for me is no matter how many times I reboot my campaign, because I tend to do that every edition, unlike EJ, I can come back to it and I always find new stuff to use. And even though I'm using a lot of the same stuff over and over again, like Glidretti or Org Mention or whatever, it always feels different somehow. And then once in a great while, you'll have like in second edition, you'll get lucky and like your friends will start drawing maps outside the city.
Oh, cool.
This is
that's awesome.
This is like to the west of the city. So all that stuff on Malden's map, the outskirts, my player characters bought all this land because I wouldn't let them
in the city,
land in the city. So they bought all that land outside the city and developed it.
That's cool. And you have to be, in order to own land in the city, you have to be there for 7 years, I think, to officially.
So they couldn't wait. Yeah. They had all the riches of Castle Greyhawk ruins, and they wanted to spend it on real estate, and I wouldn't let them, so they bought it outside the walls. That, and they didn't want to get taxed for bringing their money inside the city. I tell you.
So Sashar Score and Bill brought up a great one that we had, and that was, if you go through this book, it talks about the River Quarter and the Foreign Quarter thieves, Thomas Rotek and another one, are making inroads to overthrow the existing Thieves Guild
I think
heads
it's
structure.
I think it's Sharon.
Sharon Correll? Sharon.
She's a priestess of Corell, I believe.
That's it. Sharon of Corell. Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Great memory, Mike, on that.
Well, I ran that scenario, so
Same here, and so we
Yeah.
called it the Thieves Guild Wars. This was years ago when we first started. With the Grey Company was our second group after the Iron Brigade in there, and we ran that, and it had to be what, Bill, 12 to 15 adventures of all this warring going back and forth. And here's the group, and notice the female domination of this group, the Grey Company. All right, so
nice.
remember, we're all a bunch of guys, but we all play a lot of women characters. So a lot of really powerful. You have a duelist. This is Galena, the one who owns that noble pawn right here. You have a lot of really cool characters in this group. She's a mage thief. It was a lot of settings. So look that up. Thieves Guild Intrigue, Thieves Guild against the Beggars Guild again. You can bring that up. The Assassins Guild. I don't know.
It's an opportunity for the PCs to do the Thieves Guild a solid and
absolutely
have them owe you something.
That's a great point, Mike. Because when you get the Thieves Guild on your side, then you're pretty much golden at that point, unless there's something mega going on. So here, this is a recent adventure. This is number 909, Saving Silent Cliffs, where they went back to outside of Diamond Lake in this dying community. Why do I bring this up? Because I like bringing back old nemesis. So, and this is one of Tim's favorites of all time. The Mongrels of the Putrid Tongue show back up. And this is this is the group Iron Fury landing. This is a recent one. This is considered Greyhawk City because they're taking the mission from Greyhawk. And I think I got some carnage fights here. And who doesn't love a lot of death and destruction in a fight? And there you go. And that, as you can see, there's a lot of that going on. You can see there's Lossels. There's nothing better than a dead Lossel, right? Fighting a Lossel in the first place is annoying as it is. So Lossels and a lot of mongrel orcs, and this was a fun adventure that we had, and that's a recent one in Greyhawk that we've done, getting back to the mongrels. The mongrels were supposedly defeated years ago, but now there's a book on how to create the perfect orc crossbreed, because it says orcs can breed with anything but pure-blooded elves, according to old school D&D. But supposedly the leader of the mongrels figured out the secret formula to breed an elf with an orc before they killed him off. And now they're trying to find that. No Zwarts in that picture. No, there are orcs and Lossels, painted Lossels from Bill, of course. And a lot of other crap there, but just wanted to show you a recent. This is 909, so this is not that long ago. So, and that's the group landing. I just want to give you some pictures of something we've done recently in Greyhawk. I've kind of stayed away from Greyhawk until I got this map. Once I got the Malin map, I'm going back in, because I've been waiting. I've been trying. You all know I've been trying to get this for a long time, and I'm glad I got a hard copy of it. So, yes. Yeah, Tim, and Tim will, no. All right. Do you want to know the secret? You all want to know the secret. You're getting close. Alhawk, you're close. All right. If you've ever been in D3, what exists in D3? And actually, we have a character, and down the road, I'm going to play this out, and that's Stella's character, Sierra. Right, Anna? You need to take a half elf, half drow character, an elf drow. Okay, 50% dark elf, 50% surface elf. All right, and breed that with an orc to get the perfect elf. Yes, that was the trick. An elf drow,
not a pure
surface. Yes.
Elf.
Yeah, that was the whole trick of the mongrels, to figure out how to breed an elf with an orc, which they've been trying to do. So they finally figured that out. Yes. And they exist in D3. If you go to Vault of the Drow, it's the first time I ever heard of them. When they said, elf drow crossbreeds, I'm like, what is that? And that's from 78, 79. So, and just remember, I didn't start the mongrels. Tim did. So you can blame Tim for all that. So there you go. I just ran with it. So, other things, other adventures in Greyhawk that we've done. Return of the Eight, way back. Return of the Eight is a great adventure. before that, let me go before that. So here's the Falcon series, and someone asked about the Falcon series in Cannon Fire Discord yesterday, and I said I would mention it. I hated it. Let me rephrase that. I didn't hate it. I don't remember it being memorable at all. And it's 3 modules, and you kill the entire Circle of 8 again. So they kill the Circle of 8 here. They kill the Circle of 8 in Vecna Lives, and they kill the Circle of 8 in Return. In the Greyhawk Wars, they kill 3 of them or 2 of them or whatever. They kill them off a lot, Mike, don't they?
I never had the Falcon series. I don't know how that slipped by me, but like I was probably already, we were into 4th edition probably by the time I owned those modules. It's weird how some of these things slip by you.
Yeah, you like that, El Hook? That was my thought process on the mongrels there. So, so this series, I thought, it's okay. Let's make it better. And what did we do? Anna, the 2020 fundraiser was Return of the Falcon, which was a blast, which we raised. Now we thought we were going to raise what? We were shooting for
5,000.
No, that was the year.
Oh,
before.
that was okay.
So,
the year before we were shooting for 2,000.
We're shooting for 2,000. We raised 5, right?
Yeah.
All right, we raised 5,020. We always end up with 20 on the end of all the dollars. But here's the thing. My Heart Gaming and a couple others did their parts in Greyhawk. I did my Falcon part, and Mike Disney painted the Falcon for me. The hybrid miniature. And you know what? I don't have her in here, but let's give Mike a little prop here. Let me find the Falcon mini. But that was in Altamira. The Falcon wanted to overtake another place besides Greyhawk, and so that ended up in Altamira. And so let me crap. Don't you hate that when you're in a subfolder and it searches and finds nothing? Let me switch it to this.
Yeah.
I hate that. Mike, I'm going to find that mini. So I still, Mike has done, this is the first special paint job Mike has did for us. Here we go, Falcon 2020. Oh, I got some nice ones. Here we go. There we go. So this is the Falcon miniature that Mike did. Yeah, same thing. No one to concentrate. I DM'd it, and I don't remember anything from it. So I said, "Hey, let's do the fundraiser on a baddie that had some potential, but it's like." And so there's my Falcon miniature that Mike did up for us, really nicely done. Yeah, yeah. I mean, look at the scale work on that. So Mike did a great job for us, and I still have that figure to this day, of course. And what a great character, what a great nemesis that is. So we raised $5,000 for that. And so the Falcon's not on my wall of fame. It's never going to be on my wall of fame. It's just not that great. Now, Return of the 8 is on my wall of fame. And let's argue with this. A lot of people are not a fan of this adventure. Okay? But I love it. But I love it because it fit right into our campaign, and I got to undo some of the From the Ashes damage.
Because it kind of goes like this.
Yes, Mike. Yes. And yeah.
Like when you're doing the City Greyhawk parts, you'd be like, oh, hey, this kind of fits in my campaign. And then next thing you know, it's like,
I'm on a moon.
Like, yeah.
Anna, your thoughts?
Well, I just got all of the stuff. I read it at least once, and then I put it on the pile of I will get to Greyhawk one day and start running campaign adventuring there, so to speak. But I haven't gotten to the part yet. But I'm also that way that I want to be intimate with an area before I move in, so to speak, for a campaign. So what I've done with the Greyhawk is that I've started to get the big picture, meaning why is the city there? What's the lay of the land and the big politics, the big history, the big layout on the land. I'm not moved into where city block is, where the building is, but I'm starting to get like so look at the overall geography and I'm starting to play with these bits first. And then when I have all that kind of kind of a good idea of that. Then I want to move in and start looking at a city, and I want to look at the TSR version. I want to look at Maldin's changes, and then I want to look at Gary's version. And then I want to sit down with all of that and make my own synthesis of it, so to speak. That will be my approach. And when I've done that for 2 years, so I probably another 3 years, then I will have enough on my feet, so to speak, and start mapping it. That's when I will go in and say, okay, now I'm so immersed with it. Now I want to run my Greyhawk campaign. And then I will run a Greyhawk campaign and get out of it. That's what I've done with Shield.
She doesn't half-ass anything.
No, I don't. Say, like, I'm coming over next week. What can you throw together? No, I need 2 years planning in advance.
Yep. So now I'm torturing my players with Shieldland that I've now studied for 2-3 years and feel like
So Anna's a little on the opposite spectrum for the way my group works with my players, who we spend 3-4 sessions in a place and then we want to move on and we bounce all over the place, but that's okay.
I usually spend 2-3 years in an area, and then or between 2 and 5 years in an area, and then I feel like, okay, now we exhausted this and we've done it. Then I move on to some other part of usually another part that I was mapping at the time. But now when I've at least done the basic mapping of the whole Flennies, now it's like, okay, where should I specialize and dig more into it? So, and the city is on my radar, and within 5 years, I want to tackle it. That's for sure. So that's why I started with the kind of, I move in layers. So soon I need to read all the stuff again and start thinking the blocks and the how the river layout is and all that. So
it literally uses layers.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that I love about this is this picture, particularly. I think it's a great looking picture.
Yeah, I love that tower. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's very nicely done.
I would love to have more like that.
It's from here.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
they've
done it,
there,
and they've run with it, and they've taken it, and they've made it really look cool.
So I love that consistency from one to illustration to another, one description to another and stuff. I love that attention to detail.
Roger Moore always dotted the I's and crossed the T's. That's one thing about Roger Moore's adventures that you could count on, was that he was going to do a good job with that. And here's the inside of Jalarzi's tower. So if you want tower setups, you got them in Return of the Eight. You also have Tensor's tower here at the end of Return of the Eight as well. So you have a lot of things in this one that gives this one a good adventure. But
definitely better put together than Rary's stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And like I said, that's on my wall of fame. It has done it changed our adventure, our
Return
campaign.
of the Eight is the only adventure I think that I ever TPK'd my players.
Whoa.
They achieved the goal at the end, but none of the characters survived.
Yeah, that's an interesting outcome.
It was the end of the campaign.
Yeah.
Okay.
You achieved the goal, but you didn't survive. That's kind of a cool way to
never left that location.
Yeah. That is cool.
Was it the moon or the tower or Tensor's tower?
The moon.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking, what if I TPK my party at the next big upcoming battle in Aldet? They would never have left the village. Never. It will be a campaign in one village. It's like, instead of city adventure, it's like village adventure or town adventure.
We should really have a discussion, either L&L or Gabbin, on the effects of how to end up a group, or what to do where it's TPK retirement or whatever. That'd be a good one.
Yeah, that's it.
They TPK'd themselves.
It's true. I mean, it's like the first half of the group will make mistakes, and then the other half it cascades, right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
By then I don't really have to do anything. They're done. They're doomed.
So there are a lot of published adventures out there that are fantastic for Greyhawk, and we've gone over a couple. And then there's so much detail in the Maldin map, referencing it with the box set, cross-referencing it for if you're a purist like Jason or Anna is, the stuff that's in the court books, and delve into it as much as you want. find the detail. I would recommend getting, Living Greyhawk Journal 2, 4, and 5 for more detail beyond the. I would recommend getting this if you're going to adventure in Greyhawk. You really need this. Get it in PDF at $9.99. That's great. I mean, so much guilds, names of NPCs, stats, 3 stage characters as they go up in experience. I'd say also a must. I don't know if you can get this in PDF. Can you get From the Ashes in PDF?
Yeah, you can. Mm-hmm.
What's how?
It's on drive-through. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ashes?
and yes. So from the
Yeah.
this is a mess. But this expands on what happens during that era. It raises some characters' levels.
Yeah.
And it also does a great job on the surrounding
Kinda
areas.
a little worn out.
Oh, Mike.
Mm-hmm. I have mine
Mike.
sitting on this. Yeah.
Mine don't even have covers.
Yeah,
It's bad. They fell apart. Those From the Ashes ones fell apart. All right.
Yeah.
So a question from Big E Paul. What is the
that's a good
highest
question.
level? What's that?
No, go on.
Oh,
Yeah,
what is the
good
highest level characters you still have in your campaign? No one really ever retires in our campaign because it's just like the highest brought up from first level is as a 17th level halfling thief. Boringly named Sam. Okay, wonder where you got that idea from. Lord of the Rings. But most of the adventurers in my campaign kind of stop and we do once in a blue moon adventures like I did a few months ago with Xanthoria, where I actually played Gazumba, right? 13th, 14th, maybe 15th caps them out, but they're not, they're still part of the knighthood. They still have landholders. They're still politically involved. So we don't run a character. We don't run the new prototypical adventure path. They call it campaign. It's not. The adventure pass. Storm King's Thunder, first to 20. We don't do that, but that's where we go. When characters get to 9th, 10th, 11th level, they're pretty powerful in my game. That tends to be it for the most part. So hopefully I answered your question. So I want you guys to be from here, not just. And there's more in the Gazetteer. There's stuff everywhere, and as a DM, I would determine starting location until let the PCs. Yeah, no one. The toughest thing for myself or John at Blue Box or Nightheart Gaming to do on a tabletop game is sandbox. Because I mean mass sandboxing where it's free and open and plots are it's tough. Yeah. Trevin. So Bill's character Trevin is Specialty Priest of Tritharian is 12th, and Bill's been playing in my campaign since 1992. So yeah. That's his highest level character. And it's a cool thing because with 26 additional adventure groups you get around a lot. All right, some thoughts in closing here. Anna, what do you think about Greyhawk?
I think it's awesome. It's so awesome that I've kind of been in kind of awe. I've paid too much respect for the city in a way because it's been so iconic that I've kind of been. I don't feel like I've been worthy enough to tackle it yet, either running adventures in it much or mapping it. But now I'm gearing up to it. I'm approaching it from the outside in, so to speak. And my goal is to have a model of it, or at least a decent model of it, my take on it within 5 years. That's the goal, so to speak. And the work has kind of started on the kind of getting myself acquainted with it. And I started with the overall politics and history of it and the overall geography. I wanted to know, why is there a city there? How did it come to be? What are the main characteristics and stuff like that? That's what I wanted to know. I wanted to know the city, why the city's in existence in the first place and stuff. So I've asked the very basic questions and started to answering them to myself. And then I want to move in and read basically everything I can get over. Again, I read it at least once, but I want to read it several times over and start taking notes and make sketches of each block of the city, and then take a detailed look at the city defenses, meaning, okay, what do the walls look like? Are they single, double? Is a lower, outer, inner? I want to know what the gates, how the defense is and stuff like that laid out. So yeah, so I want to dig deep and so I assume it will be a full-time 3-year project or something like that to do it, starting in a couple of years. That's my want to do it, and then I hope that it will be something that others might find useful too, and I want to add and merge, not replace. That will be my motto in my approach to it. Add and merge. Yep.
So I know, it sounds like heroic, and you sound like you DM very similarly, and that can work very well in Greyhawk. Just there's so many. The thing about making it work in Greyhawk is you have the information. You don't have to make it off the top of your head.
Exactly.
You need to know where it is. You need to know about it, and that's the difference.
Yeah, I just have to work together the different versions and kind of and kind of take that into account and do it. And I also want the city to really make sense in its surrounding, in the territory it's in, and stuff. And that's been the other place on my campaign map. I've started to figure out how the city works with its surroundings, meaning how many towns does it and is there, meaning how much of agricultural surroundings do you need in order to support the city and stuff like that. So
the domain is pretty big.
Exactly. The domain is bigger than a lot of countries and more populous and powerful. So there's a lot of, I approached it from the outside in rather than the other way around.
It's done right. So the original box set was done right, and then all the additions. I mean, you may be things you don't agree with, but it's not been screwed up over time. It's been enhanced. It really has been, and like I said, I really give some shout out respect to Malden for making it even better, and that's a good thing. There's the Gnarly, the Miss Marsh, Hardby, the Woolly Bay, the Wild Coast, the Cairn Hills, the Aber Owls, the Star Cairns. I know it's a terrible adventure, but you can still do stuff with it. Just so many spots. The Doom
Grinder density is great.
Yeah. Divers. I have a semi shadow war going on with divers right now, which we'll eventually get back into. So yeah, that's coming. That is coming, definitely. Because remember, Michael Baton is from Divers, and in Hardby he was assassinated and his head was cut off in public, and now his head's on display on a pike in Divers. So there you go. So we got some fun things coming with that. So, Mike, how about your thoughts on Greyhawk? And thanks for hopping on, man. I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
I'm glad I did. Biggie Paw, find this City Greyhawk box set or the reprint of it, at least the books version of it.
Or the PDF. It's available.
That's why I meant PDF. Yep. This is what you need.
Yep.
Everything else is the enhancements he's talking about. This is where you start. Greyhawk, this is my favorite place to play this box set here. I've done a lot more than some of you guys. I've adventured in it. I've done the politics. I had a war. I had, this city walls were attacked. I've had undead plagues in the city. I've done all kinds of crazy stuff with the city of Greyhawk over the years, and I just keep coming back to it because it's like a comfortable pair of shoes.
Yeah,
it is. And I know it was just myself, and thanks, Mike. What a great addition you made to the show tonight. I really appreciate you hopping on. So I only had Alan and Tom on Thursday night, but we had a real good time with it. And here's some pictures of the combat, just so you know. And this was a new piece from Metro Building Authority. I just wanted to show you real quick. I threw in there. So this is in the basement of what the hell? See, I just killed it. I killed it, as long as I don't kill the stream. We're fine. We're fine.
There you go. Yep.
This is in the basement of Starshines, and this is a Metro Building Authority piece. But you can see there's two Iusian. These are, see now, Bill's like, oh, these are terrible paint jobs in the past. Look at how nice this stuff is, for now. And there's necromantic sludge coming out of the summoning, out of the grate there. And there's two Iusian priests. And they realize, oh no, we're in big trouble having to deal with these Iusians. And then up top, and this is if Tim's on, he's gonna. Here is the assassination of John by two of the two Iusian assassins, and that's a dark elf. That's Alan's character, Davida. She's a member of the Order of Ulick, good character, Clerk Mage Thief, and that was going on upstairs and that. So yeah, it's school time in Texas. I know, Gary.
Darn.
And combat is a fun thing out in the open. And here's some of the fighting going on right in the. This is at night, so any other figures I had out, I just don't want to pull them off the table. But that's right in front of Pete and John's Teamster service. We had a nice big fight going on. Notice that the Clerk Mage Thief in the corner here snuck up on this one, trying to get away, and is about to gank her. And this was a blast. We had a real good time with this, and we will continue this on Thursday. But isn't that cool? So imagine this from the first pick I showed to this, right, and to this area. From that first area of Greyhawk map, we have 3D prints now. We have underlays. We have custom lighting in here in 2 spots. We have great miniature building in 30 pieces. We have some plastic miniatures. We have some painted miniatures, some great paint jobs from Bill. We got a lot of custom crafts, and that's been in the course of 3 years that it's gotten a lot better. And and that's, and Bill, that's all you, man. I just put stuff out on the table. I'm the choreographer would be the right word, right? I'm not the actual dancer. I'm the choreographer. Like Michael. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm quoting a chorus line. Oh my gosh, Michael Douglas. Now you know I'm going off the deep end. All right, so what is going on? Let's see what everyone has in store. I'm going to go back to the other screen for a sec, and then we're going to do the giveaways. I got 4 tonight, everyone. Just note we have 4 great giveaways, and I'll pop that back up on here in a second. Let's go back to this. Yep, 4 great giveaways tonight. Yeah. So Mike, what's up with you, man?
Well, I signed up for a game in the virtual DairyCon.
Oh, cool.
Greyhawk Con. I'm going to make sure that Rich doesn't sully the Backlunar sculpture.
Oh, so an Indicarus game.
You're going to be defender of the Backlunar.
That's awesome. Great to hear. Awesome, great to hear. Pat 66, I think you're in, but I'll double check for you. So very, very cool. I know that last year, he was a little upset about not getting filled, but I think his games are filling up quickly.
I think he'll have a good one.
Yeah, definitely. So very good to hear, Mike, and I appreciate you doing that. And I know, by the way, this is packed up. As you can see, I don't know if you can see in this corner here, barely right there. Yeah. I have 18 of these because that's how many orders I had as of the weekend of these Virtual Greyhawk Con shirts, all getting packed up and they're all going out. So, thank you for those who ordered. Anyone who ordered tonight, I will get them. I promise, out as quickly as possible to you. Cathay, yours is packed. It's packed. It's right here. Trust me. It's all packed up, man. You were on the original 18. I got you. It's going out in a day or two. So good. It's good to hear that you're signing up too there, Josh, for that as well. That's awesome. Anything else, Mike? Any other fun things going on D&D wise?
Probably. I might be running something at the end of the week. I don't know.
Whoops. You guys may disappear for a second. There we go. You're back. Yeah, I'm trying to get up the thing so I can do the giveaway, and I'm trying to get to it. So I'm trying to pull that back up. So there we go.
A couple of my casual, Greyhawk games might be continuing this week, but I don't have any details right yet.
Okay.
I'll tell you the aftermath.
Awesome. Well, good to hear, man. Thank you for hopping on. That was I appreciate your perspective on everything here, and we will continue to push out some great content as we got 2. I know. Hey, it's funny. We got 2 Legends of Lore scheduled before the next Gabbin, so that's great to hear. It's really cool. Anna, what's up?
Well, first tomorrow, I've decided to have a map live stream tomorrow night, and I'm trying to been sitting here fiddling because it will be working on the splat map of the second area of my Shieldlands map and trying to get the two to merge. There is one little issue here, so I hope I can sort that out before tomorrow night. But there are some other things we can dig into if not that, so to speak. So that will be tomorrow, because there's several people who've been, half a dozen people say, oh, I'm so busy on Friday, whatever. So okay, let's have one on Monday night, then we'll see. So that will be me working in Photoshop primarily tomorrow night on that thing. And also we'll have the 17th session of my Shieldlands campaign next Sunday.
Nice.
So yeah, and that will be kind of the first of maybe 3, 4, 5 sessions of that will be the finale of chapter 1 in a way. That I think then they will probably have had enough of the village, if all that might even not exist by the end of this. We'll see, because now we come to the big one, so to speak. We have Katarina and the Order of the Shield have picked a fight. So they have now picked a fight and trying to set a trap for Ayus and see if he falls into it. And from the players' roles and their decisions and stuff, they have actually managed to fall in on this. So it will be, so I have a lot of cool things to develop for next time, so to speak. So I'm going to, and this will spill some beans. I hope they don't watch too much of this before, but what I'm going to do is, something I haven't done in 20 years. I'm going to put together an Ayusian attack force, and I'm going to put together them stat-wise, magic-wise, and come up with the tactics and how it works, and trying to see how the forces of the old one simply want to put the end of what he's aiming to destroy, so to speak. So I have some really cool ideas that I want to put in, and that will be ideas and descriptions and stats and stuff that I want to give to my patrons and then to everybody. Yes, Biggie Paw, the live stream is on my YouTube channel, and hang on a second, we get I get you the address here in a little bit, the URL for that. So
yes, and
yeah,
hopefully, what time will that be, Anna? Did you say?
It will be 6 o'clock Pacific time. So yeah,
9
Pacific
Eastern,
Daylight
everyone.
Time. Yep. Mm-hmm.
There you go. That'd be cool.
So it will be in the evening. So now I just need to. There we go.
Maybe we'll even log on and hop in a little bit there and lurk
okay,
a little
cool.
bit
Yeah,
in chat.
We'll see if I can set up my Discord server so we can have like a voice chat while I'm doing the mapping. So I'll work on that. I had a couple of issues last time, but I think I've sorted out why that was. So,
awesome.
Yeah. So let's see here. There we go. That's the URL to my YouTube channel. So it will be me sitting working in primarily Photoshop, but it might be a little bit of other stuff too. So it depends on if I can sort out the issues so I can dig into it. Otherwise, it will be working on the Earth map, or maybe working on some updated Oldit map because I need to have an alternate version of Oldit just in case I use strike big time, so to speak, because that will affect the terrain and the whole area. Because you don't, when the old one, when he send in the big guns, so to speak, then it will be more than just the little ones. So this is a big battle, and people have heard me talk about this is a big one, so to speak. There is going to be a lot of stuff happening, and awesome. I'm also trying to think about some really cool and innovative way to boost the characters. The characters are only second level, meaning second level will last 3 rounds in a battlefield like that. So I'm coming up with some cool ways to boost them.
Heroism
and
potions, super
yeah, potions. But way more than that, meaning they need be more pumped than that, so to speak. So I'm looking to keep it within the 5e rules, kind of, and then still boost them, so to speak. So cool. It will be some fun stuff that might be memorable, awesome. So to speak. I like to, every 20 session or so, the campaign need to have some big moments, so to speak, big battles or big kind of earth-shattering events, literally in this case. So it will be some fun, I think.
Awesome. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. And we got a packed packed week. Almost everything's set for this upcoming week. So here I'm going to hit back to my scene, and here we go. All right, so what's going on? I already talked about this. Wednesday night, we're going to do. This was Gary's and the group's idea on Grey Talk. Let's do some lesser talked about areas. I'd asked Tim to come on if Tim was around, but I think Tim's going to be driving down to Virginia. Nomads, Rovers, and all. So there you go. I don't know anything about the Tiger Nomads. Yeah.
Well, I have a lot of ideas about them. So, but
Okay.
you know me. Yeah, I have a lot of ideas about a lot of things. So yeah.
So we'll have some fun with this discussion on Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
And then note the Legends and Lore after this, the week after, will be Cannon Fire's 20th anniversary with Gary, Julian, and some of the other crew.
Oh yes, awesome.
On that. And that'll be cool, and that's the week after that, and that'll be the week after that. I will be away, so there won't be one the week after that. All right, so also we go to what is going on Thursday night. Infiltration in the Free City showed you the combat of that. It's a Gamescape 3D sponsored giveaway drawing. So if you got a 3D printer, it's a good one for you. If not, we always do one $20 gift certificate to another company so that everyone can participate. And that will be, there's a nice postcard on Cannon Fire for Tiger Nomads. Oh, cool, man. I guess you did that one, Gitano. Yeah, that's a good thing. I'm going to go take a look at all those. All right, so that is Thursday. Next Saturday is a big Saturday night special. The only one I have this month on a Saturday night for the most part. Sidetracked Adventure 922. Here's Stella Luna is playing, Mike Disney's playing, Taryn's playing, Jose Ortiz is going to play in this group for the first time. Yes. Anna's playing in this, and Casey Brown, ever complaining that he's not playing Garn's playing his duelist GSAC. And if maybe one other person as well, we'll see. And that is going to be next Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern. That'll be the big stream of the month. And then I haven't even gotten to what we're doing Gabbin next week, so I'll worry about that. I'll worry about that coming up. All right, so if you have not signed up yet for Greyhawk Con, please do, and give it a shot. Give it a shot. A lot of DMs have got some wonderful content, and now's the time to sign up, right? You know, it's going to be a fun time. Lots of great games and Dungeons and Daddling. Oh, nice name. Thank you very much for that follow. Really appreciate it.
Thanks.
We will. I'm looking forward to this year. I only DMing once, and mine's the Grand Melee, so I don't have to go crazy. I'm going to sit back and let there's a lot of new DMs this year. A lot of them are starting to sell out, but there's a lot of great games that are not even halfway filled yet, and there's plenty of content out there. All three of Casey's Bandit Kingdom tourneys, I know, and Dickerus has got 3 games. Alan Growy has 2 games. Oh my gosh. Steven Chenault had a game that wasn't filled. I don't know how that wasn't the first thing to get filled. The owner of Troller Games is DMing for us, and it wasn't filled. So it may be by now. I haven't checked, but so all right, we're doing the giveaways. Last call, 4 of them. All right, it's going to be a good one tonight. 4 giveaways. All right, and number 1 will be the following. All right, let me put this up here. I know I almost crashed here. All right, so the Free City of Escadia hardback book. It's either hardback or softback. It's a book though, with free shipping plus a digital download. So you're going to get 2 codes. Okay. First giveaway. Second giveaway is going to be the one that I have here, and that is the Town of Callus book, which I think is really cool and is a really good job, and that is this one, the Town of Callus. All right, and these are courtesy of Troller Games, our great sponsor, and yes, something.
Oh, that's by Paul Kidd. That's cool.
Yeah. All right. So.
Yeah.
Okay. So
well, wasn't he one of the authors of one of the Greyhawk novels?
Oh,
yeah. Yep. That's where I think it's the same guy. Yeah.
CNC does a lot of a lot of the old school people do work for him. Jim Ward's done stuff. Luke Gygax, right? So
yeah.
All right, here we go. I'm going to close this out. Closing out. All right, hang in there. We're going to raid 20 sides every story when we're done, I think, tonight. Okay, so let me get a notepad here for, even though it'll keep it in the chat. First winner is I Am Zerbus. That's a new name.
Oh,
Congrats.
As I Am Zerbus on to claim.
Come on, speak up.
I'm looking. I see I Am Zerbus in chat list. So I see I Am Zerbus in the chat list.
Don't work. Claim the prize.
Yes. Well, I'm gonna give them a little time here. Yeah, I Am Zerbus, second winner. That would be now. Callus is next. If they don't reach out to me, I will always re-put them out here. Right. He's on the list. He's in chat watching. Okay. Damn weirdo. Damn weirdo. Oh, you get the Callus.
Cool. Congratulations.
Weirdo.
Yeah.
Callus book. You won. Yeah, you won the book and the digital download. Yeah. Okay. You won. Next, this is for an Escadia digital download, number 4. Winner. Sinokin. Is Sinokin on? I'll get Zerbus. I mean, he said early on he was going to be on, but lurked. Remember, he was one of the first people on. There you go. All right, Sinokin. Do I have? I'll get you the code either on the Whisper on here or in Discord. So you get the digital. You get the digital Escadia. Okay. And then we go to the Jason. Do this in the form of a Greyhawk bingo. Oh my God, Gary, it would take forever, man. And then the 4th winner. Death OK GH. I'm assuming for Greyhawk. Yeah, another new name. Yeah, please do.
I was even signed up for this one. I was hoping to win a prize that on the show I'm on.
Which would have been completely Death OK GH is in. Yeah, it is good to see. It is good to see some new people getting the wins there. I think 3 out of 4. Yeah. Yeah, you never won before. That's good. So you're going to get the Callus digital download. All right, and I will get that to you as well. And grats all. And just note, because every show there's some sort of giveaway. Just keep on going. Almost everyone. I don't know of anyone who hasn't been on for like 4 or 5 months that has not won something. I mean, almost everyone has won something, and we try and make sure to get spread out a lot. So. No, they're not Zarathon stock puppets. If they were, I'd know, Gary, definitely. So great crowd tonight for a summer Sunday. Thank you so very much. And hopefully you got some good information about Greyhawk. You know, it's a little of my campaign talk. I know it's maybe a little painful to go through, but I just wanted to relate how I kind of interlink everything. And weirdo for you. Okay. I know you have your Discord. Discord me, name and it full. No, all I need your whisper me in Discord, say hi, and then I'll link the codes, because all you need to do is go to the Troller Game Store and use these codes. So, well, thank you. Thank you so very much for that compliment. I appreciate that. And that's good. That's good to hear that you like them and they're fun. Yeah, get back into the game. Get back into Greyhawk. Get into a campaign game. Get in. There's so much going on. Get in one more time. Get into the Discords. Get in and chat it up in the Cannon Fire Discord. That's the main chat talk. Greyhawk Online has a Discord as well, but you gotta go through their website to get it. And then for the con, we have our own Discord. It's not as active, but it's going to be used a lot for games. So there's the Virtual Greyhawk Con Discord, and boom. So we are all good, and thank you. And I'll see you Wednesday. I get a couple nights off. I got a rough week coming up. I gotta get something fixed. It's gonna be rough. Plus real life work here. So I'll do my best. Plus 3 games. I have my kids game Saturday morning, and then the special on Saturday night. So I got two games that day. So
yeah.
See you all Wednesday. Everyone have a good night.
Bye.
Hey, night.
Don't forget the postcard. Oh, Troy. I will get to the Dutch of York postcard. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks for that reminder.
Yep.
All right, so let's go to Let's raid into 20 sides every story's cool. He's got a map up. I like that. Yeah, you like that, Gary? That's all right. Yeah, Troy cheered enough that I can forgive him. See you. Thank you. All right, 67. Great number to go into on a Sunday night. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go say hi over 20 sides and have a great night. Thank you. Awesome. My voice is starting to go.
I like city and great topics because I always have like 100 different things within